YouTube stuff. And then I'll explain all the challenge when you get in there and all there. Alright, so we're back live on YouTube. So we're going to be doing a brand new colony, doing what I'm sure others have tried, like others have done similar. But we call it the pollution challenge. For this one, I am going to turn on the cleaning areas again because that's just a practicality thing. Just checking anything else here that we want to potentially get rid of or whatever. But so no research. Where's random research? Where are you hiding? Random research. Oh, good friends, they're back. I really like those two. And auto sort, save, apply, and RimWorld reboot. But pretend I wrote something really toxic in chat. Slash bans. What? We're just really RPing it. But yeah, so basically what the pollution challenge is we set the entire planet's map to 100% pollution, and then we go out of our way to find a tile that has roughly 100% pollution. As long as it's like 96% or higher, it ends up being the same, because when RimWorld, the way it starts, it will actually carve out a tiny little spot in the middle-ish for you to live on. But yeah, so we're going to do a new colony, because we won our last one. I am going to choose Basic Lost Tribe, which is pretty much... It is your tribe, but the basic thing is the no research, random research mods. These aren't part of the challenge, it's just something I do to myself. That pretty much what happens is I don't get to choose the research, it happens, and I'm just stuck with whatever I get. I just like that, because it forces me to adapt. But, the gist of the challenge is, we go to these 100% population. Yeah, let's restart the name queue. But yeah, so what ends up happening with the pollution is you drop on the map. I'm not allowed to use the easy ways to solve pollution. I can't just bag it up and walk it off the map, bag it up and launch it into someone else's backyard. I have to deal with the pollution on my own tile. Now, there's a couple ways I deal with this. One is when you have that level of pollution, there's these things called the Pollux trees that slowly, very, very slowly absorb pollution around them. You can't move them. Where they are, they are. And so what ultimately ends up happening is we slowly pick up a little bit of the pollution, we run it out to the Pollux tree, we drop it on the ground, it dumps back out, sometimes trigger infestation, and we just repeat the process. So with that, we're going to go ahead and move forward. I am going to do Cassandra Adventure Story for this one, Commitment Mode. Normally, do we do... I'll put it back to Strive Survive. Strive Survive is what I've been doing most of the time. So maximum pollution, that's important. We'll end up having to be picky about the tile, so we'll do this. So I'm trying to find some people... Yeah, it's fine. We'll just leave it on its default, so we won't mess with it all. Alright. Which, the wasters become a real problem in this one, as well as the insects, because pollution buffs them. We're going to generate our world. For those who want to try and follow along, the code was roulette for the seed. Let's see, you want to get a good naked brutal running, maybe on a higher difficulty. You've never done a real challenge run in RimWorld. Oh yeah, doing like the proper difficult challenge runs, like naked brutality, can be good. So naked brutality, if you're not playing at a harder difficulty setting, it's really hard at the beginning regardless, because if you just get unlucky and your character gets, like, malaria or something, you get downed and you die. Like, just straight up, it's an RNG win or loss there. And then sometimes you'll have your base set up and you'll get unlucky and what attacks you isn't something you're well prepared for. And you can set up traps and all that kind of stuff, and it really helps. A whole tile build is a naked brutality start. Yeah. I mean, naked brutality, it is definitely the harder start. I don't want to say like that. It's kind of the harder thing, like in Project Zomboid, the really CDDA challenge, where you have that front-loaded difficulty where you get over that hill, and then it's kind of a normal colony after that. But you will have a lot of, you started, something goes wrong, and you restart. Yeah, no, the CDDA, well, if you know the strats for the really CDDA challenge, it can actually be not that hard. Because I think we did it the other day, and I think it took me 3 attempts to get a run off the ground. There were 3 or 4 attempts to get a run off the ground, and then I only died because I forgot poison takes longer to take effect. Now, because I am doing no research, random research, I cannot choose a hot tile. And the reason for that is if I'm on a hot tile and I get a heat wave, the run's over. Because I won't even have passive coolers. We're not going to do mountainous tiles because it kind of circumvents the biggest part of the challenge because the pollution doesn't go into the mountains. But we're looking for tiles around here that have, if not 100%, like 98 or so percent pollution. So I can't go there to the jungle area. We can do cold, though. That's going to be mountain tiles. We're not doing that. I also feel like the coast is out as well, because that means all of that wouldn't matter. And I'm not sure how that would affect things either. Here we got some pollution bunched up here. So we got 94, 100%, but it does have a cliff on one side. Let's avoid that. 93, 100%. Temperate forest. It has one chunk of rock kind of in the middle. The grow season is long-ish, but not the full year. Just gonna poke around at some of these other ones that are dense to see if there's ones that... I think that's what we go with. 100% pollution. Let's do this. But the one thing you've noticed is that you think either the map preview or the landform mobs stop roads from generating a tile. Oh no, I've not had... Well, it's okay, the landforms might. That I would believe. But the map preview doesn't. You don't see the map. You don't see the roads here. Yeah, so we are going to have a slightly higher than average number of diseases. We won't have a full year-round grow season. We will actually get a decent amount of rain. But pollution 100%, nearby pollution is 34 point whatever. I mean, we're in pollution. I don't even know what the cutoff is. It is flat. We do have one rock kind of in the middle, so that's going to be where we start living right away. And it's warning me saying, hey, yo, you know this is polluted, right? Like every season you're going to have smog, right? Yup. We're going to create a fluid ideology. Let's see, is that more mountain and hills than the first one? Oh, I have no idea about the comparison between the two. So I'm going to start with Prolicizer. I might go Guilty for the second stage. I do like the Guilty one where it forces you to do stuff. The only thing I don't like about it is it forces you to take pawns I don't want. But I'm kind of thinking if we go into the biotech, then we can mess with that. Alright. The only thing I am going to change is where is the Prolicizer. There we go. Frequent. That's the only thing I change. Everything else we're going to leave the way it is. So we got venerated animals of panthers. We got 2 aura relics. We've got some random stuff that has all this. Yeah, I like Guilty is really fun because you have to make those choices. Do you take a terrible pawn and then have to deal with it, or do you not take the terrible pawn and everyone throws a fit? Yeah, so we've got these. That's all fine. So we got a Sky Lantern party. We've got... I'm not sure. Oh, it's a leader speech and all that. That's fine. All right, so that'll be our ideology to start with. Now, one of the rules I make for myself is I earn every one of my scars. So we are going to quickly just knock out all the scars and see what we even have here. Slow learner, you can kindly get out. A jealous brawler, no. Tough abrasive iron will. I mean, tough and iron will is great. I'm being a bit picky. Normally I haven't been, but lately I've been going that route. Kind. So you can't, so you got a pacifist. Volatile, we don't want that. Psychically dull is fine. Kind is excellent. I can live with that. Meanders can get out of here. Tortured Artist Iron Will. Okay, so we're lacking in medical and mining and intellectual. What do we got that we need to get rid of? So I've got multiple people who could do plants, so I think this one's gonna go away. Because I am trying to have a reasonably set up super immune body motor physical. Sure, yes, I will take you. That's great. So we're lacking in medical, which is a big negative, and mining is also a pain. Let's see. I'm sorry. What is tortured artist? Is low crafting and art? So tortured artists means sometimes they're just going like they'll have a permanent mood debuff, which is kind of crap. But when they do, a lot of times they'll suddenly be creatively inspired. But they have iron-willed as well, so it kind of negates it. Not really, but it is like a negative and a positive. So we do have people, actually in this case, they're mostly positive. Man, everyone here is like psychically dull or deaf, which is nice because that means I'll not be that big an ish. I thought he had like 0 in both. Gotcha. Thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure tortured artists makes it so you're guaranteed to have some. Okay, so you might look at this tile and go, huh, that doesn't look so bad. And then I click this. And then it looks really bad. Because all this red out here, if I stay in it, we slowly get sicker and sicker. We get, you know, dementia, we get cancer, we get bad stuff. So the red is a bad time. And that's the big part of the challenge is I'm not allowed to use a lot of the common strats to deal with the pollution. Alright, so we got an ancient danger down there, in case anyone's wondering. Yeah, so it looks like one ancient danger down here. Yeah, and this is actually, so this is what I'm used to seeing when I start this challenge, is tiles like this. So, do we have, so you're definitely going to be a shooter. You're going to be a shooter. You definitely, you're probably, so, So I think you're going to be our melee pawn, even though you're amazing at it. And you're going to... So, alright. So you get one of the bows because you're amazing at shooting, and I'd like care more about having that skill sorted. Do this. Grab the pila, grab the knife, and grab the equa. Alright, so let's quickly look through our schedules real fast. I'm not going to mess with that. I think, did we have any night owls? I don't believe we did. Nope. Okay, so we don't need to mess with the schedule right now. Get our priorities sorted out. We have no doctors, which means everyone is a doctor. So give me a moment to get all of our stuff set up. Alright, so Bear here is going to hunt. They're going to be an artist, I guess, as their main thing. So they're basically going to clean and haul. Which, honestly, usually at this phase in the game, I don't have that. Our cook is also going... Oh, man, we got a lot of crafters. Our cook... this is not my favorite. So you're going to do that. Oh man, we do not have a good setup for our construction. That is not a good time. I'm going to regret that in a big way. Okay, so you can change it. You can change it for everyone by clicking on the name of the skill, right? I could sort. But, shift click. Oh, I never knew that. Okay. So yeah, so anyone who has capacity will help with the mining. Man, that's gonna be tough. So you're gonna do construction. You're gonna do everything. Alright, so we definitely don't have a good split up so far as our skills. So let's have everyone grab their weapons first. Okay, so let's check the pollution zone. So you're gonna be rice.
From Rhetorica I answer. Rual, did you remember to download the defensive formation mod?
I did not. But I should have. But I didn't. Alright, so just trying to get some initial grow zones going. You'll be heal root. And meanwhile, we need to get carving in here. Since we've got components right there, I'm gonna make... No, we're not. I don't like that spot. We're gonna go ahead and go in here for our main room. So we will be maximizing our use of this as best we can. So I think this will be our first room and all that stuff. And meanwhile, what animals do we have? Oh, none of those animals are living through this. Those animals are all doomed. I can go here and say zone, dumping stockpile, over there. Regular stockpile. Up here for right now. Okay, so we got a place for that in here, so that tree is the corner. And we will need clothes, so we're going to go ahead and get cotton set up there. As an absolute priority, we'll get dyes going on, because there's no point on living if we can't be pretty while we do it. It's just too important, chat. And we'll get corn going for the rest of this, because corn... Actually, I changed my mind. You're not going to be corn. You will be... Yeah, corn's fine, actually. Alright. So we've got all this started. We can go ahead and go here. Door. We'll need to get some recreation up pretty early on, so we can go ahead and for right now... Let's chuck that there. Worry about the next thing next. Alright, so everyone's starting to haul stuff, getting it out of here. And, like, everyone is set up to... What are you doing, Orange? And everyone's set up to do mining as they have capacity, but no one's good at it. So one of the things we're going to do to avoid a particularly bad problem is I'm going to go ahead and put the beds right there for right now. And the reason for that is it's very likely we will not have that enclosed in the time it takes for the day to end. And I do not want them to run out in the pollution and go to sleep. And I don't mind them walking into the pollution a little bit. But I don't want them staying out there. So if I see them stargazing out there, we'll bring them back in. I can zone them to keep them here. The issue you run into with that is I am going to need them to run back and forth between the Pollux trees to drop off bags of pollution on a regular basis. And they won't be able to do that if I do secure them in here. One of the things we do want to make happen is I have the random research, so I don't get in here. The complex clothing is one of our most important researches because of the face mask. Because the face mask gives us 50% protection from toxic environments, which makes it just way easier to manage. But we're not going to have that for a while, so it is what it is. And what we want to watch for is eventually you'll start seeing little pockets. Here's one here. So there's a Pollux tree there. What you go ahead and do is go orders, plan. Oh, here, we'll just do it this way. And I can just go through here. Because I had messed up and filled it in. But I just want to mark where the Pollux tree is. What I'm going to do here, though, is I'm going to go say zone, dumping stockpile here, storage, clear, critical. And we want the toxic waste pack, so we'll copy that setting. But what I want to do is I want to find each of those trees. What are you doing? Oh, zone. So clean zone, the snow clear zone. So only clean the zone marked as snow removal. So copy those settings, and what we're doing is we're looking for, there should be 3 of those on the map by default. And part of the reason I'm putting the planning stuff around is to see the border in the future. That way later on we'll want to wall these in, because we do not want to lose these. Losing one of these Pollux trees is really, really bad for our run. Okay, and there should be one more here somewhere. Oh, you're positioned terribly. Okay, that's not my favorite. And the reason it's positioned terribly is it's right along the edge of the map, which means I gotta keep my people running towards the edge of the map. And then it's also half bisected by that, so I can't do all that. What's all the red? It is pollution. It is what you call a bad time. Alright, so we got a little bit of rice down. We're still clearing all this up. And allow raw resources. Do not allow raw resources. Alright. It's the spicy air. The spicy air, the spicy ground. What stats do you normally prioritize for Naked Brutality? You want to have at least... So it could depend. Depends on how you're setting up. I would definitely say medical is a very important one, because if you just get even something as mild as like a minor flu, and you have no medical, that could end your run. And Soul Adams on a 7-stream streak. Going, look, Ma, I'm on TV. Thank you so much for continuing to tune in, and congratulations on your extra 450 points. They're not sure it makes all the difference, but the first 2 you used, the plot markers inside the Pollux zone, the last 2 you did on the outside. Oh, did I? I'd like them to be consistent. Alright, so try again. I'm just marking the area that's like, hey, do not build in this area. Because if I build anything inside the circle, the Pollux tree stops working entirely. So that is my do not pass go line. Alright, so they're all mining. Please don't start by sowing the dye. I don't want to have to sit here and micro all of these, so go here. Disallow sowing for those. Deal with that, then we'll allow sowing on the others. Pollux tree. P. And they're all terrible at mining, but they're doing their best. There's actually a nice large rock, so we got a smaller grow zone than we've had lately. So a Pollux tree in RimWorld, it only naturally shows up on extremely high pollution maps. But what it does is in this area around it, it will slowly, tile by tile, absorb the pollution. But it's only in that circle. So for our pollution challenge, because I've restricted myself to not being allowed to just bag the pollution and run it off the map, what I have to do is I have to baggie it up, drop it down here, let it decay so it dumps the pollution back in the ground, and repeat. So it is a very, very slow thing to do. Okay, cool. So you got those planted, so you can go ahead and sow whatever you want now. I just want to make sure you got that rice down, because I have problems right here at the beginning, especially since I think we're already out of food. Hey, animals. Sorry, but like... Gotta eat, friends. And in this case, we gotta eat, friends. Any plans to do something like toxic taters? Probably not, because that means your people have to stand in the toxic. The tox potatoes are pretty much if you have wasters. So I hate to say it, animals, but you're on the menu. Friends are friends, not food. But what if they could be both? What if they need to be both? Because that's where we're at. It's not... Oh, I just realized they're all still have their beds out here. Don't sleep outside. Because that's where we're at. Is we can't really afford to separate friend and food. That's called a kink, sir. I wouldn't really call that a kink. I would call that discouraged in most societies. Alright, and we can go here, and for right now we can go ahead and put a torch there. Well, they can be friends forever, but food only once. Maybe twice, depending on how you cook them. I know I walked us into the cannibalism thing. I mean, granted, in this case we're talking animals. Alright. Meanwhile, let's start getting our names in. As a reminder, we did reset the name queue. So if you got your name in during the Kenshi segment, we did reset it. So you will need to rejoin. So you'll want to make sure to do that, and then we'll start getting everyone named here. Do forever on butchering the animals, and I'm sorry, animals, but you're delicious. Or you're not. I don't actually know, but regardless, you're on the menu, and that's what's important. So let's go here, and we can go to production, stove. Actually, that's a good place to research bench. I should make the stove first, but this is a really good place for the research bench. You have someone who's got cooking of 1, right? Yeah. Boomrat does. And go production, fueled stove, furniture, do that. Meanwhile, I can go zone. And you're gonna see me use the remove snow zone. Oh. And what we're doing with that is I have a mod that lets me tell them where to clean and where not to clean. And so we are using the remove snow zone. Oh, don't do that. As our way of designating that. It's just a mod you could say, hey, any zone I tell you, clean it. So we're also going to go and lock in any place that we've already removed the pollution from. That is a place you want to clean. That way, if the pollution does end up getting a little progress because I mistake a bag or I leave a bag down too long, we don't lose ground up to it. All right, so we've got research. So that means our researcher here, White, will start working on that. That'll be absolutely necessary for our long-term survival. It was nice to hit a steel spot in the mountains where we were. Yeah, normally I have to like run a person around and like hit the back of this hill or whatever. So it's convenient that it was like right in front of us. All right, bills. Cook simple meals until you have 10. And we got major break risk because we killed the pets. But that's just what we're going to deal with. Alright, so let's get to naming people. So who is going to be our animal handler who can do art and all that? Basically, your work here in the colony right now is you will handle the animals and you'll haul stuff. It's pretty much it, actually. You're basically our designated cleaning person. So with that, our designated cleaning person will be Conrite. So let's go ahead and do that. Named. And then we will have our construction person, who will be Soul Adams. Right now, you haul and clean. Yep. And then after that, we will have our artist. Will be Anime Big Boy. Named. Oh, I forgot to. Oh no, I didn't. I thought for a moment I forgot to start the YouTube thing. It's about to be. I've panicked on that like a whole bunch of times. Going, oh no, I forgot to start the YouTube. And then after that, we've got Darth Dragos, who will be our researcher. And finally, we've got our planting/cook person, who will be Kalaria Star. Okay, and who is our highest social? It is Conrite, so go ahead and talk to this person. Okay. I wish. Just imagine you start the game with a minigun. The cloth mask? Yes. Also take your packaged survival meals. More than likely, you'll be the one who needs that. If you're going to be hauling, you're running to the pollution and back. Alright. So, what we can do for our cleaning person is we can very slowly let them carve into the area here to expand our grow zone. Oh, wait, we have the pollution removal zone. I forgot that's even a thing. Yeah, so that's what we need for here. So, in fact, we don't want the clear snow zone to be this big. Clear snow zone, you stay inside. Remove pollution zone, on the other hand. Let's get all of our space covered here. Because like I said, the idea is more or less, that's fine, we're going to expand that anyways. The idea is to take the existing space and make sure anywhere that we've removed pollution from in the past isn't allowed to take up more pollution. I'm going to cover all of the mountain thing here. Because that won't have pollution, because where the mountain is can't have pollution. And that's the reason we don't choose a mountain tile, because it kind of trivializes the challenge. Okay, so what I think we're going to do is we're going to clean that area. And then we're going to clean this area. As our first areas that we start picking it up. So what'll end up happening is kind of right when they wake up, we'll go out, they'll start cleaning up the pollution, they'll baggy it up, and then they will run it, and they will drop it under one of these trees. And that'll give us a little bit more of a grow zone. Now those trees have a very kind of hard limit on how fast I can go. So I can't just like blast through it really quick. Those aren't growing nearly fast enough, and I do not have animals worth hunting here. Oh, I got multiple people cleaning. Oh, because there's nothing left to haul. That's fine. Oh, I see. Actually, in that case, you all mine since we have a dedicated hauler and all that. Because I need you to keep you mining so you can get more space. I'm having a good day. Thank you for asking. Alright, so that's going to be a production room. We will make... that our dining room. No, we won't. We're not going to organize it like that. Okay. This will be our infestation trap. This will be just like a little storage room. Actually, here. Okay, so mine out all of the ores worthwhile. Because that'll give us an idea of what we're looking at. Alright, so that's pretty rough. So we'll definitely need to wall stuff off. We'll put wood walls or whatever we need to. But they are working on it. And we'll start walling this off. So we got Mad Rat. We'll wait till it's closer. We'll group our people up. And we'll shoot the crap out of a rat. Cool. And we got ourselves a rat. Excellent. Because I just need to try and keep our food tied over long enough for me to get that rice grown. Once the rice is grown, we're in pretty good shape. But until we hit that point, we're in a rough spot. And the other thing is we want to keep Dragos researching absolutely as much as we possibly can. And most of the rest of this won't matter. The other thing we'll do is we'll want production, crafting spot. Smash mechanoids forever. We can make veils, tribal wear. Actually, do we have a preference on our characters? I don't remember what our ideology has. Let's see. None of the tribal stuff. Oh, apparently Conrad is married to someone in the Fallen Empire. I've actually not had someone in the Fallen Empire be the spouse before. Alright, that's fine. We're just setting these real fast so that we can make replacement clothes for ourselves. I'll set that as well, even though we probably won't do that. Okay. In zones. We can go here. We're going to move the stockpile indoors. Okay, so we need to come up with the name of our tribe as well as the name of the colony itself. We are in a temperate forest with maximum pollution. Our tribe basically has no real strong like strong alignment so far as what they got going on. That pretty much what we've got going on with them is they just want to spread their thing. So they've got the Smogworts, the Toxic Crusaders, Emission Expedition. Yes, you live in the 90s. Dumpster Dales. Cleaners, Bikini Atoll? Or Atoll? Well, we're not in an atoll. Let's see, Dumpster Dales. I can go with the Smogworts from here. Let's see. But I'm the only one with the Toxic Crusader figurines. I vaguely remember those. They were like a lot of neon green and yellow in their color scheme, and they had like, was it like it was almost like the Ninja Turtles like ooze or whatever, but it was their own thing. It's just like this bright green ooze in half their stuff. That vaguely sounds familiar. Yeah, so Smogwort sounds like a good name, but we need a faction thing. So I saw a mission expedition. We can go with that. Make sure I spell that right, because I'll get it wrong and then it's there forever. Faction, the Dusters. I think we'll do a mission expedition. So Smogworts and the mission expedition. I think we'll go with that. What are you doing? Oh, you're cleaning a spot of pollution. That's fine. The Bikini Atoll is where the US did their nuclear tests after World War II. Yeah, I don't imagine many people will get the reference. And then those who do will want to just talk about World War II constantly, which I don't want to. Because I don't care. Like, I know a lot about it, but I don't want to just talk about it. Because then a lot of weird things come out of the woodworks and I just don't want to deal with it. Alright, so shrink that. And the reason I'm expanding this, even though I haven't moved the pollution, is they won't try to plant in the pollution, but it's a way you can just kind of watch the area grow. That as I clear the pollution out, you'll just see them start putting the potatoes and all that down. Major break risk, because you're ravenously hungry. I have not been watching and our food is getting critical. We're nowhere near able to start pulling those up. Okay. So draft, we're gonna just try and kill stuff real fast on the map here. I don't know I brought you, go home. Because we're basically out of food. Way too late. Good night, everyone. You sleep well, Lana. Thanks for hanging out and all that good stuff. Alright, come on. Stop running. Because we just need to get some food now. We got one rat, and now the dangerous one, which is... I am going to have to deal with these. We don't have enough food. We're not going to have enough time to wait for the, wait for our stuff to be ready. So good, one got separated out, so we don't have to worry about aggroing the entire group. I know, we're starving. I'm actively trying to deal with it. Alright. You grab that. Cool. You finish that off and bring it home. No, kill this one and go from there. All right. I didn't think that through. Oh well, it's too late now. It's probably okay. I was just like, we need food now. So we're trying to just get as much food as we can. Those Boomlup are not particularly good food. Medical attention. Why is no one treating you? There you go. So just trying to stave off the starvation for a little while. And who is our cook? Claria, that's fair. Just want to make sure that those don't spoil, but you got days. Actually, Claria. Oh, one thing we'll do is we will go to our food assignments, select food restriction, lavish, don't eat corpses, and we will leave raw food on. Actually, don't leave raw food on the list. Because I would really like them to make sure they cook the food first so we get most of their mileage, so raw food, don't do it. Alright, well that's not my favorite. All right. You need to get better. You hurt bad? No. Then you'll prioritize cooking for a minute. You'll need to tend. All right, so not the most elegant. So we're having a pretty rough start because things just didn't go the way we wanted to right away. I will need you to make a priority hauling those. Stop breaking everything. What did you break? Did you break the chair we were sitting on? I think that's what got broken. Okay. So there, Kalari managed to get some food put together and all that. We'll definitely want to get the corpses out here. So for right now, corpses, do not allow rotten, do not allow human-like. Yep, boom, hello. We don't really have any water anywhere in here. Oh, actually, there's a little spot of water over here. There you go. Dumping stockpile. Clear, critical, corpses, human-like. Let's also go not home zone. We'll leave the Pollux trees as home zone, because I do want to put out the fire if they hit those areas. I don't want to leave them to just burn. Come on, let me select that. Okay, and that should buy us enough time to potentially get our crops up. Because once our crops are up, things get a lot less awful. At which point, we'll just keep it to simple meals. We won't do anything fancy yet. Alright. Oh yeah, you're not gonna last up there, poor Ambrosia. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but that won't be staying there. So let's see, pollution removal zone. Let them keep working on it. All right. Yes, the early game is just kind of, we're bundled in here, trying to make the most of it. We will try and get stuff going on. We're still in that first phase of just trying to get the food. Anyone else hear Gordon Ramsay? No. I don't really pay attention to anything he does or whatever, so doesn't really strike me one way or the other. But it's not like I have a problem with him or anything, it's just I don't watch much television, let alone reality television. Nothing against reality television, by the way. That's not what I'm trying to imply with that. But yeah, no, it's just, I've never been big on the reality shows. Like, don't get me wrong, some of the cooking shows, if I am going to have to, like, not have to, if I am going to sit down and have reality television going, like some of the cooking ones with that. Alright, so you got a person trying to force their way into our colony. What is your stats? Super immune, quick sleeper who is kind and has a heart problem. You have terrible ideology. So that's not my favorite. But that said, not the worst. They're a better doctor than we are. They've got really high social. They can actually be competent at constructing. They're like really good at a lot of things. So let's not have them cook. But we could have them take over constructing. Well, help with constructing. That's fine. We can convert them. Yeah. Speaking of which, who was the one we had that had the highest social? Is you. Social. Assign. Oh, I need a ritual spot. Ideology. Alright, let's try that again. Social. Moral guide. Begin. So I don't really... So we have to be very careful about how many pawns we take, because we do have a very limited amount of space we can work in. So there's those things that I want to make sure I don't immediately cause problems with that. Oh yeah, knock them down 40-something% on one conversion thing. Because I used to watch the show with him at home, and it was less stress. So it was cool how he thought his family about livestock circles. Oh, okay. Used to watch Hell's Kitchen, then I realized it left me feeling stressful, so I stopped. Yeah. Alright, so we're almost grown. We still got some meals here. We might be able to get a couple more meals cooked before this all rots. Yeah, so we don't really have a dedicated mining person. But that's okay. To be fair, you could do a decent beef Wellington through fear. You know, I much more enjoyed when it came to the reality shows where it was more like just a competition. Where you had like, you know, okay, you have these ingredients, make the best dessert or whatever. That kind of thing. Or like, oh, you need to make something that's British cuisine, or you need to make something that's Polish cuisine, or like whatever the actual thing you have to do is. I much more enjoyed those versus the ones where I understand the reality there when they were doing that, but then where you have the person like cursing them out and being like, what are you, an idiot, and all that, it's like, that's not fun to me. Especially at the time, like, I had worked in a lot of support and service type jobs that were customer facing. It's like, man, I got yelled at enough for stuff I had no control over. I don't want to deal with that afterwards, even if it isn't me being the one yelled at. There was a local restaurant makeover show in southern Ontario, which is good. Yeah, no, I do like a lot of the like the home improvements. Like 90% of the time, like half the stuff is nonsense, but it's still fun to watch. They turned a restaurant from meh to good. Oh yeah, and there's been a lot of those. You look so high? Okay. That's a random weird thing to hop in and just say. Alright, so we are starting to cry out this way. Awful barracks, you just smash up the furniture? Excellent. Go break wood, please. Yeah, smash the logs. No, leave the furniture alone. Leave the furniture alone. Don't do it. Solitary night is being hunted by a raccoon. We are going to accept that because it gives us a free raccoon to eat. Stop breaking all my things. I understand we killed your pet, and you're upset about it. And you're sleeping on the floor in a cave. It's not even a smooth floor. It's all rocky and... you didn't actually break it. You just damaged stuff. You missed my question. You just don't understand how the pollution cleaning works. So what ends up happening is you set an area to be cleaned pollution, and it's the same mechanic as like when they sweep up the dirt on the floor. It just takes a lot longer. And when they do, it puts in a little bag. And you can take that bag and you can drop it someplace. But what happens is when that bag decays, the pollution drops back on the ground wherever it is. And if the area is full, it'll just go to the nearest tile that doesn't have pollution kind of thing. So cleaning pollution in the game doesn't eliminate the pollution. It kind of compresses it into that bag. And then after a while, you'd go and... So it's 1 square at a time. It's a couple squares. So like when they grab here, it might grab 2 or 3 squares next to each other. So like if we actually watch where this person's picking up this pollution here, it'll probably grab a couple of these squares. Yep, so it grabbed... Actually, it's like almost 6 squares. Yeah, I mean, you do end up moving slowly within all that. Alright. You're good at your job? Yep. Alright, so that's a production room. Okay, we're in summer. So this'll be our break room. You know, rec room, all that sort of stuff. I'm gonna make it a little bigger than that. They're gonna mine that steel out and they'll just replace the wall. Let's see, there is at least one way to know that you know to get rid of pollution instead of moving it around. It requires having a mechanism. Yes, there's a second one. If you look over here where I've got this marked off, there's a Pollux tree here. That will very, very slowly absorb the pollution that's on the ground, kind of like moisture pumps to absorb water. And that's the other way. When you choose ridiculously high pollution maps, they will have Pollux trees on them. Alright, so we will have... Conrad, accept that. You just keep running, because I want that raccoon. Yep, you can get Pollux trees through other means, but they're really, really rare to come by without the guaranteed ones at the beginning of that. Would you rather fight a raccoon or a bed? I mean, a bed because it's an inanimate object that just sits there and doesn't really fight back. But yeah, as a reminder, I am streaming on multiple platforms. At the moment, I'm on just YouTube and Twitch. Usually I'm on TikTok as well. Honestly, what I'll probably do is while a raccoon closes in, I'm going to go ahead and get TikTok back up, because we didn't put it on because Kenshi was having performance problems. So I didn't want that to be an issue. But I do stream on multiple platforms. My main platform is Twitch, where I do have about 80 or 90 people watching right now. That said, whatever platform you want to watch on, that's fine by me. But just mentioning it, so if people feel like they're kind of just on their own on one of their platforms, that is where most of the viewers are. Because, to be entirely honest, when it comes to live content on TikTok and YouTube, neither platform puts any real effort into making it right. They do pretty crap job on both of them. Like YouTube, they take what is their not live stuff, and they just bolt it on streaming onto it and called it a day. Is that raccoon no good? Yeah, no, got bad luck on the RNG on that one. Which is fine. That was a very likely thing. Where are you taking that? Because I said, oh, are you still set to allow rotting corpses? Yeah, don't do that. No rotting corpses. No human corpses. Okay. But I'm just gonna hit the buttons to go live on TikTok, because like I said, we weren't live on TikTok just because of Kenchi's been giving me alerts about like performance stuff and whatnot. Alright, so I don't know where you are, what you doing. Can I get you to drop your gas mask? No, it's in good shape. Alright, so get the heck out of my colony. Sure, we will just immediately go and do the ceremony for the psychic link thing. Because we can. Oh, good. We'll do a ceremony in the literal toxic wasteland. Yeah. Pyromaxius saying the YouTube streaming is rough, but it's nice to use in the app. That's pretty much it. May as well stream on multiple apps. Oh, yeah. Because I'll definitely agree that the Twitch mobile app is really not good. But yeah. Please hurry, I got other things I want to do. Yay! Conrad got a title I don't care about. But also got psychic powers. What psychic powers did you get? You can throw a chunk of rock to someplace else. They won't, not till something's in the way. Alright, so furniture. And then we can go ahead and put... We'll wait till we have one of the corners cleared and we can put the game in the corner. You can move rocks with your mind? Yep. You know, clean up all those. Alright. So we're slowly carving out ourselves a place in here. We will go and get this break room sorted out. At the moment, we can go recreation here. You can put that there for the moment. We'll delete that spot, and we will put the ideology spot in here for right now. We'll put a fire in there as well for the time being. Cool. And the last person converted. I didn't.
Hankering for education, are we?
Does RimWorld have any tutorials for new players? Not really. So you'll have a thing that what'll end up happening is when an event happens, you'll have a little thing that pops up here that you can click on. It'll tell you about it. So it'll be like, hey, you know, whatever this thing is, it'll pop up there. I think you can revisit those. Try to remember where they are. So it's not like a proper tutorial or anything like that. So much as like, oh, animals have this. I'm trying to remember how you access the information. I know you can literally access that. I just forget where it's located. Transport pod crash. So one of the rules we have in this run is that I may not take people who are immune to the pollution, because that just kind of trivializes it. Yeah, no, that's kind of those things. So like you can get kind of thing where it's more like reading information on it than straight up being given stuff to figure it out. So they don't go like, here's how you do this, here's how you do that. Yeah, hints and tips kind of thing. Exactly. Alright. We had a couple people some better thing. Was that pawn immune? Yeah, it was a waster, so they were immune to radiation. Or toxic waste. What that ultimately means, I can't take wasters, I can't take the vampire peoples or stuff like that. Research known smithing. I mean, I will build it because... I mean, what else am I gonna do? But not really what I need. For those who didn't catch, I have the no research and random research mods running, which means I don't get to choose what the research is, it just happens. And if it's useful, great. If it's not useful, so like I want complex clothing, but there's no button here to make it happen. So I just kind of hope for the best. Major break risk on you because ugly environment and you're drowsy and all sorts of stuff. I feel like you can fix that stuff. New lovers, Anime Big Boy and Kalaria Star. Anime Big Boy pursued Kalaria Star by telling a story about the core worlds. Kalaria Star became aroused and agreed to become Anime Big Boy's lover. Aww. Good old love on the rim. We are not ready for babies right now, so try to not do that. It'll make the hall over here, I think. Zone, we already had the clear snow zone, which is what we set to be clean up the pollution. We'll make all of the interior of this building part of that. well, interior of this mountain. Alright, so just trying real fast to get all this situated. Ultimately, not all that might stay in the interior space. Oh, we missed a spot over here. And what we're doing with that, where I am setting it to Mad Raccoon. We're trying to set all that spaces to be like a clear thing. That rock is flipping you off. Oh, that? Okay. We'll get rid of it, don't worry. Alright. So we're getting our food slowly up and running. The potatoes will be in soon. And that's when we're in a really good spot. Okay. And meanwhile, for our dedicated for construction person. Congratulations. You're gonna work on making this nice. And we can go here and do that. And floors smooth. Okay, let's see. Any favorite game genres or rough top 10? Won't hold you to it. So I don't really approach things in like favorites and all that. That's just not how I approach the world or whatever. But generally speaking, I do play a lot of like settlement builders, city builders. I do play a lot of like tycoon style games, survival style games. Simulation's really big. Actually, I'd put simulation well above survival. Because like survival style games, it's kind of like if it's just has general survival mechanics, I usually enjoy it. If it tries to go with the we're like a super realistic survival, I usually can't stand it. So like I don't like Green Hell, but I do like Project Zomboid. I haven't played Scum, but everything people have said probably would not be one I would enjoy. Based on what I have heard about it, probably not one I would enjoy. All right. So how are we doing on the pollution by our trees? We got a stack of 2 bags over there. 4 down here. And 4 down here. So I can actually afford to pick up a little bit more pollution. But you were so excited for that game and it came out. Then I was like, are you kidding me? Vitamin deficiency kills me in like an hour for real? Yep. What about stuff like Dwarf Fortress? So Dwarf Fortress I specifically don't enjoy. I like the idea of Dwarf Fortress. I think there's amazing things in Dwarf Fortress. But I also can't stand the UI of Dwarf Fortress. Like, and it's not like it being pixel arty or whatever. That's fine. I play tons of pixel art games. It's how convoluted the UI gets. So I enjoy watching Dwarf Fortress, but I don't enjoy streaming it. When did you last play Minecraft in stream? I don't think I ever have played Minecraft in stream. Like I could see that being when I played once on stream and then, you know, didn't play again. It's nothing against Minecraft. For me, Minecraft is the big thing that I played a crap ton of it when it first came out. And then kind of was like, alright, well, I've done that. And just fight it all correctly. That's right. We just got one little cut in the hand. It's fine. No idea what that acronym means. As a reminder, when you use acronyms, it just means I'm going to ask you what does that acronym mean, unless it's like directly contextually obvious. And you're going to have to type the whole thing out. So you might as well just type it out. She says, then you go from starving from overweight from eating one thing, and then it's really bad. Then you think they fixed it in there, but it never went back to scum. Greg Tech Who New Horizons? I have no idea what that is. You said words. I don't know what the words mean. Good description, makes sense. Alright, so we are slowly trying to clean up all this. And I am trying to have them get this room to be positive, because that can be our first easy mood bonus. Is if we keep going to get that set up, we will be able to get the that our dining room is nice. I can actually move this inside here. There's enough space for that. All right. But yeah, no, I definitely tend to do a lot of city builder settlement builders, because a lot of good stuff happening in that space. Like Manor Lord is one I've been looking forward to. I believe that's supposed to drop this year. Overhaul mod for Minecraft? Oh, yeah, then I probably wouldn't be interested in it. Generally speaking, I mod very lightly. So the moment when someone's like, giant mod, I'm like, eh. Like, every once in a while I'll do that. Like, that in Kenshi, you just have to. Like, Kenshi, generally speaking, you're going to mod it. The game is amazing, but it's desperately needs some tweaks and adjustments and all that. So it is just the nature of Kenshi that you're going to be doing that. You're ravenously hungry. Look, we're trying. Have I tried Lords and Villains? Yeah, last time I played it, it was fun, but I like the idea of it, because that was, I believe, was that the one that was based around the families? So you didn't have like the individual pawns weren't the responsibilities, like the households or whatever it was, but you still built it like RimWorld-esque, where you made the individual, but like I would make a building, and then that building would belong to the Smith family, or whatever. Because I remember generally enjoying it, but at the same time, I don't know, there's a lot of games that, like, the premise is good, but then you start playing and they feel like they're kind of just lacking a little bit. Alright, let's go ahead and say, harvest the rice early. Just get what you can out of the rice. Because people are starving, we're about to have our potatoes up here in just a little bit. So I quickly cash in on some rice, then Kalari can cook up some food. And we could stop the starvation to get the mood breaks under control. But yeah, no, I remember generally enjoying it, but it wasn't something that grabbed my attention to play more of. But we've had tons of those, where it's like you play a little bit and you're like, cool. It's kind of like RimWorld, but not quite. And we usually do a couple of streams of them, and then you kind of scratch your head and go, okay, well, I feel like there's a more that needs to happen here that just isn't here. Which a lot of it's because early access. All right. So we are getting the rec room smoothed out and really nice, so pretty soon we should start getting a holiest style surroundings. Okay, sure. A slightly impressive dining room. Heck yeah. Would you look at that? It's slightly impressive. Oh, right. We finished the fueled smithy. So furniture. Because then I can get rid of these and get them like actual spears or whatever. Alright, so they're going to prepare for a while. Dining room just getting smoother? Yep. Because, yeah, we'll get like the somewhat impressive dining room. Ooh. Is that a fursuit? No, they're literally like wolf people. Like you look at them, their xenotype is the Yetkins. That shade of blue? Hey, look, man, the pollution's really rough in this world. Can you see what's being researched, or is it full random? I can see when it gets down to, like, the last 5%. The mod does let you do it earlier than that, but I choose to make it so I don't get to see it till that. Can we keep him? Technically, if they had survived, I would be allowed to keep them, but they didn't, so we won't be worrying about that. Alright. I am tempted, if we get to the point of being able to do the biotech gene splicing thing, to take some of the groups I normally will never consider, and bringing them in as whatever. Oh, we can make the simple helmets. We should be careful about not going too far in that. We'll make 2 Gladiuses, though. Material-wise, that's all fine. Now we can make a short bow. We'll make the short bow the priority to replace the Pila. And someone took care of you, right? You're all good? Good. Alright, the potatoes are up, and with that, our situation gets way easier. Thank you for the follow. Welcome to stream. Yeah, I usually don't take the, there's a group of these I won't take. So, aggressive, hyper-aggressive, this is my least favorite of the xenobiology stuff. And it's on a lot of them. It's on the Neanderthals, it's on the Sanguiphage, it's on the Yetkins, it's on the Impids. And what it does, it causes them to just get into, it's on Neanderthals. It's like, it's on a lot of them. And it causes them to just kick off in fights very easily. And so in practice, what I end up doing is just almost never, like, taking any of those ones that have, like, the negative. I know you want a cape and a head wrap. I can't help you with that. And if you ate without a table, with the table right there, that is a you problem, sir. Okay. So we're all just working on smoothing out the rooms and expanding the base little by little. An affair. Conrite wooed Darth Dragos by lauding her shooting skills. Darth Dragos became aroused and agreed to become Conrite's lover. What the heck? We're in our first year, and we've already had, you know, a couple become, like, pair up, and then an affair. We're in our second season, and an affair is already happening in our colony. Oh, RimWorld. You can be a real jerk sometimes, you know that? Where's the pollution actually at? Okay. So we'll do, say, structures. Wood walls will go around this way. And I'll go to zone. Pollution removal. I'll tell them to remove it for that spot. And one of the other dangers with the pollution as we're moving it around like this is we have the risk when we move it around that once the bags start to pop, that it will trigger infestation near where the pollution is. And then the more pollution you have, the worse it gets. Like, so far as the more you've decayed on that. So you can have ridiculous amounts. Also, consider everyone is sleeping in the same barracks. Where is the fair taking place? Next to them? Oh yeah, not a good time. Actually, I'm going to square this off. I normally don't, but I'm going to. So we'll go here, structure, do that, mine this and this, go to zones, pollution removal zone. All right. So I do think with our limited space, where normally I like to give everyone their own bedrooms, I think we're going for an actual barracks this time to start with. Because I don't see a way we can make this, like this, just being this angle, there's really just not a good way to shove bedrooms in here that aren't microscopic. We will ultimately, I always do give my people bedrooms as well. So normally the goal for the pollution challenge is basically just win the game. You have this bad setup, just win the game. I might just keep building and to see how far we can take it. Like, to see how ridiculous a base we can make out of this. And I do have those. I'm deliberately not destroying them right now, so that until I need those components or steel, we're just going to leave them that for them, because then we can't destroy them by tantrum. So ritual soon, so we can begin a fair of life. So we would need a lectern, an altar, the leader present, and kneel pillows. Okay. So I can provide an altar. And we can provide a lectern pretty easily. The kneel pillows we're gonna probably wait on a little bit. No, I mean we've got clothing. We'll wait. Because I'm gonna need some of that for producing our clothing and all that, even if it is tribal clothing. Yeah. To be fair, you're very much watching the pawn with my name. Say, I'm gonna be the first to go. Yeah, oh no, would you look at that? Things didn't go quite the way we expected. Oh, darn. Oh, you need to put that... Don't refuel that fire, let it burn out. Close the door. Probably close that door too, and that door, so at least you keep the heat contained in these rooms for now. But we are starting to get heat stroke because it's just hot on the tile. Now you might be like, oh, no problem, build a passive cooler. Don't got that. Oh, no problem. Research it. Oh. So, overheating is one of the things with the random research stuff that you might just run into a situation you just can't get around. Meanwhile, while they're doing all that over there, start getting this room smoothed out. Because we also want to smooth this out for as the walls get damaged from fights and all that. They won't repair it unless you smooth the wall. Okay. I'm guessing that one has to be outside. So build that fire outside, and Big party! Everyone party outside. Outside party. Let's make our sky lanterns. Yay! I didn't even look to see what the thing we get for this is. I don't actually want new recruits right now. We have two Okay, let's see what you bring to the table. You're a genie? Oh, come on. Depressive? Like, depressive is bad. Like, depressive is real bad. A permanent -12 sucks. But a genie would be real nice. So I'm really torn on this one, because, like, straight up, that opens this person to do the crafting. And they can do, like, backup of they can also do research. I will keep them. My best judgment says I should absolutely not keep them. They're definitely going to be the last on the list here. But, oh, the queue is empty. What do you mean the queue is empty? Chat, does no one want to be the genie? No one wants a name? I don't understand. Now, for the record, if I do get the same name twice... Oh, good. Carpet. That's exactly what I need. Carpet. Alright, so you can get a bow. We will need to add another bow to the list. You're in the queue? If you entered the queue while I was playing Kenshi, we did reset the queue after Kenshi. Carpet is something I don't need. So I'll give it I'll give it like a minute for people to get in there. Oh, you're already in the queue and it said the queue was empty? Let me try that again. Very last Lardine. That works. That timing, though. I realized you had that all typed in beforehand. Oh, right. I can't put the. Oh, no, your boxes are in the queue? Weird. Maybe just... Okay. Huh. No storage space available. I know, I'm working on it, okay? The queue wasn't empty? Yeah, no, I don't, like... I don't want to keep resetting the queue or ever. But, yeah, no, I don't know what happened with that. I do apologize. Because, no, you're absolutely right. There was people who should have been in there. So I don't know why it said the queue was empty. Just another thing I get to troubleshoot later, I guess. Changed nothing. Everything changed. Story of my life. So we don't have those. I'm going to do the ritual anyways, even though the chance of it being good or not great. Yeah, because there's not a good way I could troubleshoot it live to figure it out. Psychic drone, low mail. Don't like. Yes, I don't know what happened with it, because unforgettable. Bum. Oh, it resets our psi focus. Well, we don't have that, so that's fine. Programmers lament. 1, why doesn't it work? 2, why does it work? Yeah, no, it's just one of those things that, like, this is the first time we've had it not work. So now I'm worried about having had it have issues for a while. Okay, so we've got the fire out in there, so it's not overheating that room anymore. Not enough sleeping areas? Yeah, thank you for the reminder. And we'll get all the sleeping areas moved down here shortly. Actually, here's one thing we can do. Furniture, bedroll. I don't think I have enough. Let's see. 49, 39. Takes 40. So we'll wait till they pull the cotton, and we'll just make a bunch of cotton ones. But you can't move the pebbles. The problem is, this area keeps getting full. Alright, so we got our gladiuses. So go grab that. Go grab that. Go grab your bow. Ambrosia Sprout's not going to do us any good. Alright. And then this will become the bedroom. Actually, I don't see a reason to not move it now. So go here, and for the moment... we'll do that. And we'll delete all the ones that don't actually have someone sleeping in them. Combat supplier. Okay. Yeah, no, something definitely got messed up with the bot. I don't know if something happened on Firebot and it got, like, after we did the reset we intended, like, just something else reset it. I honestly don't know. Alright, what have you got for me, friend? Okay, take the jade knife, take all of these random junk weapons we got. Oh, I wish I had the money and the means. Never sleep right in the go would be pretty fun, but no, we don't have that. I can't. I'll just casually buy an assault rifle and just be like, yup. We're in the Stone Age, also assault rifle. Yeah, so we're not gonna be able to buy a thing, unfortunately. Yeah, no, something got messed up with it. I can troubleshoot it afterwards. There's no point in trying to troubleshoot it during stream. I can't look at the information to see stuff versus if we were to troubleshoot it after stream, I can sit there and do that. That Gene Peck was never shown. Oh, absolutely. That's exactly what's going to happen. It looked nice and we'll never see it again. So I am going to do this, which is going to make simple helmets, do until you have one of 80%. Yeah, we'll just make him out of steel and steel alone. To be fair, it's very unlikely I will hit a point I get to take proper advantage of the gene packs. All right. You just noticed the stream title? Yup. Are you going for the no sleep? So if we do hit the point that I can set up the xenotype, like genetic modification, I would certainly take the no sleep. Not that I'm specifically seeking it out, but it is a very, very strong one. Like, there are negatives with it, but it is a very strong one. Okay. A masterwork simple helmet. Okay. Yeah, no, there's more than likely I'll get the first one. It's after that it gets to be pretty dicey. It's 5 plus metabolic, so you just need to get some bad genes from different races. Yeah, that's just the whole thing. You can also buy bad genes too. But yeah, that'll definitely be a thing I gotta deal with is getting some real nasty stuff. Yeah, no, you're in the queue. Like, we can see what happens. I wonder if I can actually check what's in that, because I have it save a file to my computer. I can check that file, because that's how that actually works behind the scenes. Is when you put your names in, it's saving it to a file. When we restart the queue, it blows out the file. But like maybe something happened and the file got stuck open and it didn't write to it or something. Or it went to open and it was like, file is in use, which shouldn't be a thing. So it's not that one. So it'd be stream assets. The bot text files. That's not the one I'm looking for. No, it's not in there. Maybe it's not in... Oh, no, this isn't the one that saves the file. I'm sorry, I'm lying to you. It's a variable in Firebot. So if something causes Firebot to get reset, it would blow out the queue. So it's not a file thing. My apologies. I have a lot of stuff that does manipulations with files. You found the bad genes are rare and mostly find good ones. I found even pulling genes from people, getting the bad genes is like pulling teeth. That you get like good, 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 one good and bad, good, 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 one good and bad. And like once in a while you finally get a negative by itself, you'd be like, yes! Or it'd be like a negative, but you'd be trying to get something you're trying to set up for your ranged people, and you get like bad shooting, and you'd be like, come on, man. The one and only negative I can't really, put up with here. Okay. I'll check those in just a moment. I just want to put this tile here. Oh good, a bunch of raw fungus. Excellent. Well, if starvation starts to become a problem... No, I get it. I get it, Otan. We can't properly troubleshoot it right now live, so I know we're all kind of curious what happened, but it's just not something we're going to be able to troubleshoot like right now on the channel. Whatever happened, it didn't work right. I do apologize for that. It is the first time we've had that problem, but I'm going to have to take it off stream and see what can happen. It could even be just a fluke that maybe behind the scenes here's a question. Is anyone able to redeem first right now? Because that would answer one possibility. It should still be not available. If it is available, then Firebot okay, good. So Firebot did not reboot. Because that would have caused it. Yeah, so I'm not sure. I'll have to go through and troubleshoot. So the only thing we did different this time is we did reset it midstream. So I will check to see... No, I don't think I accidentally hit stop, because it was like, wait, it's like maybe I hit the wrong button. It's like, no. Because if I stopped it, it wouldn't be open anymore. And I definitely didn't hit to start the queue again. Because we would have also seen the message to start the queue again if I had done that. Wait, want to be inside Rual's RimWorld? No, I get that part. There's just not a whole lot I can do to properly troubleshoot it right now. So that's our barracks. So I've got that going. Is that uranium? Okay, that's marble. Guarding this person. You want me to guard a person who has... Yeah, I'll take that. Oh, I didn't read that you were a prisoner. That's actually a problem. Hold, please, prisoner person. I failed at reading comprehension this day. So go over here. and do that. Whoops. I forgot that was there. Here, actually. Don't worry about all that. Okay. Could go wrong something. That's why we need to test and support and fix stuff while live. No, you don't test while live. That is a terrible idea. Don't test live. Actually, we can make this work in the short term. The problem with testing live is it will distract from the stream. It'll become very disruptive and not fun. And whatever event happened, I would have to keep trying to re-trigger it again and again and again. And so that would be me resetting the queue again and again and again to see what happens, which means everyone have to re-enter the queue again and again and again. So we're definitely not testing it live. Hey, Sui! Thank you so much for the raid. I do hope you had yourself a good stream. And how was your stream? Were you playing My Time at Sandrock today? I didn't catch what you're playing. I think you started stream after me. But yeah, we're playing My Time at Sandrock. So for those who don't know, Sui, fantastic content creator, fellow member of the Halcyon Brain Stream Team. That's the word I'm looking for. Stream Team. But definitely a good content creator. Plays a whole bunch of different games. Has played Project Zomboid in the past. Been playing a lot of My Time at Sandrock lately. Definitely someone to check out. Good times over there, and chaos will ensue. Super duper short one. Gotcha. That makes sense. Because it's like, wait, you weren't live when I started. Because the few times you've been live before me, I've poked my nose in there and I didn't see you. Hey, Serious Mage, how's it going? But yeah, no, it happens. We're pretty early on. We started Kenshi today. Had a good time with Kenshi for the first half of the stream. We're on the second half of the stream. I totally forgot. Soul Adams, I'm kicking you out of your bed because I keep forgetting to kick you out of that spot. But so we did that for the first half of the stream, and then we switched over to, for the second half of stream, we got a new RimWorld colony started. As you can see, we're very early game, and if you're wondering what this RimWorld colony is about, that red, that's bad. That's pollution. It's a bad time. You don't want to be in the red. It gives you dementia and cancer and all sorts of bad things. But we do have to run in and out of it to survive. But it is a challenge I set for myself in the past. I call the pollution challenge. Basically, we set up the map or to the world to 100% pollution, and we just deal with it. And it's very limiting on how we do the colony. Now, to be clear, there are lots of easier ways to deal with pollution in this game. Specifically, for example, you can normally bag it up, walk it off the side of the map, and then drop it and make it someone else's problem. But I'm not allowed to do that. I also am not allowed to drop pot it off. I'm not allowed to take anyone who is immune to pollution, so no vampires, no wasters, none of that. And we just go with it. So it is a bit of a slow build thing, because the way we deal with the pollution is I do baggy it up. I take it over to these Pollux trees that spawn on your map when you have enough pollution, and I drop it right below there. The Pollux tree cleans out the pollution, the bags rot, and they drop the pollution back down, and the cycle continues. But that said, we're very early run. I also am running the no research random research mods, so I started with no research whatsoever. And then what research I do get, I have no control over. It's basically giving Randy random control of your research. It's a great idea. 10 out of 10 would take water wheel on a tile without water again. Every single run. But it's been going pretty good. But yeah, so we're early game doing all that. Like, you'll notice I've already got most of the floor smoothed out. That's just what we're dealing with. That said, Cassandra's been really nice to us this run so far as what she's been giving us. We've already got multiple additional pawns that are pretty decent. Like, Last Lardine here is depressive, which is not my favorite. But, you know. Now I did it? Oh yeah, no, I'm gonna be totally cursed. So I'm hoping our prisoner here... Oh, we should be converting you. This is for a quest. So I'm hoping our prisoner will move into this our room and then we can just close the door. This isn't intended to be my prison. I wasn't paying attention and I was like, oh, cool. Like, I can go ahead and... You know... I just go ahead and take this person. They can use our barracks. But yeah, so we are starting to, like, try and get everyone won over. So... Very impressive dining room. Nice. A impressive barracks. Cool. We're still getting that room sorted out. But because of that, the big research we want at the beginning of the game more than any other research is complex clothing, and we want it for the face mask, because 50% toxic environment resistance. That is one of the major milestones in this run, is getting that, because then I will have everyone wearing a face mask, which makes it much easier to deal with. Oh, you're never gonna move. You have paralytic abasia. Well then, never mind. What room was this room gonna be? I can make this our actual storage room for right now. So we'll do that. Go copy these settings. Go down here. Paste the settings. Expand the zone. And delete the zone. Alright, and our food is catastrophic once again, which is somewhat surprising to me. I mean, we do have a lot of pawns here. What do you happen to be researching right now? I have no idea. With the random research, it won't show me with the settings I have till I'm at about 95%. So I'm just on this. I'm just on Mr. Toad's wild ride right now. That I got no control over this. So it is one of those things that I cannot really plan ahead in any meaningful capacity. Alright, we'll plan, maybe that'll be our prison over there. And I don't know what this room will be in the back, maybe a temple. But then we'll have this room way in the back here. Ducks join. So I would like that, but I'm really hungry. Like really, really hungry right now, ducks. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put a caravanning spot up here. And I'm just really hungry. So, ducks, I'd really like to have you over for dinner. If you don't mind. Oh, I think that's actually the non-growable area. Just trying to get the stone chunks out of the way. Insulting spree. I hate it. Ducks after they enter tile immediately mated. Yeah, they're ducks. What? Why are you... Oh, because I accidentally didn't... Okay, I understand. Oh, no, because now if I make that a prison because there's food in there, we won't be able to have the food. Alright, we can deal with this real fast. It's a weird thing to do, but we'll go ahead and make the, make this hallway into a room of its own for the time being. There you go. Ship crash. You're willing to give me some silver and plasteel or goodwill or a bunch of different things. We got a war merchant showing up here. Okay, so ship crash. We will do that right now. I think I'm going to go ahead and take the goodwill since they're not offering much silver. I was actually hoping there'd be more over here so that this group would unintentionally help out. Okay. Have a quick chatty chat. So we'll keep... Nah, go ahead and take the short bow. We'll probably get more of those. It would be nice to get the animals. I don't really have the capacity to take those. Honestly, take 2 of the tribal wear. Take the wrap. Is there anything you can give me? Not really at the moment. So that's fine. You shattered their nose? I'm feeling pretty good about your odds. Good luck. Stop running, start shooting, stop running, start shooting, start Why are they so dumb? We have one of the longest range weapons in the game. What if we didn't use them and instead ran straight at the enemy who was set up for melee and went into melee? Every time with the shuttle crash. They might still win it. Probably not, actually. Am I gonna even arrive in time? Probably not. You're a bunch of jerks. Oh, they didn't die. They just went down. Alright, we can work with this. Okay, so we'll get whatever people to do medical to you. Hey, go patch this person up real fast. I was really hoping, even though it's never not bio-encoded, I was really hoping it would be not bio-encoded so I could just take the sword and all that. Alright, so you sleep well, and good luck at work tomorrow and all that. If you attack, we will take you to the L. Yeah, it's just like such a weird move on their part. Excellent. Mission accomplished. There's nothing to worry about with any of it. Alright. So you got extreme break. That's not what I want. So they have an incendiary launcher and a revolver. So what we might do here is we might take the incredibly ethical tactic of closing the door and making it not our problem. Excuse me? Oh, they might not attack in time. I want the caravan to fight him so I don't have to. Good enough for me. Please actually kill the guy. Okay. Everyone put out that fire as fast as you can. Meanwhile, you got yourself a revolver. And I will take the incendiary launcher. I don't think I want it, but I will take it. Okay. So, tantrum for being ravenously hungry. Look, man. Calm down. Slaughter, you know what? I actually want you to kill those ducks because we're going to eat the ducks. So, and just in the little bit of toxic buildup they got in the way here, we did not get anything from that duck. Alright, so it didn't actually break anything. They just hit a bunch of walls a bunch of times. That's fine. Okay. Ancient danger, that's fine. We're well aware of that being there. Where are you going? Oh, there's a duck down here, too. Which you stop slaughtering immediately before getting to. That's fine. So put a door there. And a wall here. A wall there. Okay, and for a construction person, we're going to move on to smoothing out the next area. Let's go and smooth out that hallway as well. And that tile gets mined. Okay. We're having ducks tonight? Yes. Fire launcher is always good for burning waste. So the problem is when you burn the waste in this game, it still just releases the full amount of pollution. So it's not something clever. You can burn the pollution, it goes away. It just speeds up the release rate. And then the negative is these trees are flammable, and I do not want them to burn. That tree burning is about as bad as we can get of a result. Yeah, so this will be our prison. Oh, it won't be able to do that yet till that's closed off. Alright, bear with me, chat. I've been terrible about eating my dinner because things just keep going. So I'm going to mute my mic and I'm going to eat a little bit of my food while it goes on. You can grow more of those trees from the ones you got? Yes, but they're extremely rare. I have to either get from, I believe it's an exotic trade ship, can very, very rarely have them. And sometimes quests can very, very, very rarely have them. We're talking Vanometric seems common by comparison. So, yes, but unlikely. Alright, so bear with me a moment. I'm going to mute my mic, I'm going to eat a little bit of my food, and we'll get back to it. I got Jotan. Yeah, no, normally I don't deliberately burn my wealth or destroy items. I'll trade them away at a loss and stuff like that, definitely. But I don't like to do a thing where you like get that corner room, you toss everything in, you fire an incendiary in there, a Molotov it, and walk away. I know it's an important strategy to deal with because it is a very genuine problem in the game that wealth will absolutely kill you. Oh, you're sleepy? Hi, Sleepy. I'm Rual. She's like, why would you do this? Hey, the OG Mana, how's it going? What are you doing?
Staring at you.
Why?
Why not?
Because you're being weird about it.
Yeah, wifey's weird. That's why you married her.
I don't think that's why I married her, but I did marry her.
Hi, Sheila. Hi, OG Mana. Hi, Iconic Dork. Hi, Soul Items.
Okay. I don't think we want to keep the Impid.
On the stream.
You're what? Okay. Well, it's because your sleeve's wet.
It is what?
I mean, yeah, on the stream it looks way worse.
Hi, Eonek. Hi, She-Wolf.
Let's see. Of course, has somehow attacked raiders despite nobody buying them at low prices. Yeah, but I don't worry about that. No, I get what you're saying. I've never been the player who likes to deliberately trash stuff, do that kind of stuff. Like it's absolutely a reasonable approach, and we're not doing the deserter. If you're sleepy, go to sleep.
But that's not being with you.
Yeah, I know. I love you.
I love you more.
I love you more.
Whoa.
Gotta be careful leaning on the chair. Yeah, you're tipping the chair back.
Your chair's scary.
You'd sleep well. Alright. Yeah, no, generally speaking, you'll never see me like I'll do wealth management in trying to not accrue obnoxious wealth, but you won't see me doing the thing where I deliberately go out of my way to delete wealth by like destroying stuff, whether it's burning it or whatever. Like, I will take the bodies and I'll chuck them in the water so they decay faster. That's not really wealth management for me. It's because the bodies make your people really upset to see them. I just want to get them out of here. But yeah, so I mean, I almost never use the Molotovs or the incendiary launchers. I mostly grabbed it so I could trade it away. For right now, just expand that here. Alright. So bringing all the ducks in here. We've got all the ducks queued up to be knocked off one by one. That's all fine. We've got our helmets all sorted. Actually, go ahead and haul that helmet there and that, so you don't keep making them. Alright. Does the mayor do the Raiders think? If only I owned that tile, I could make some such profitable skull manufacturing. No, it's just the way the game works mechanically. It just says, what is wealth? Okay, escalate the attack by X amount. So it doesn't increase the amount of attacks, but rather the severity of the attacks. But, it's just mechanically the way the game works. It's fine. I don't know what that spot will be, but it'll be something. Okay. Yeah, so right now I've got smithing and carpet making as the research we've gotten so far, which is not really what we're looking for. But that's okay. Random research is always a jerk like that. Okay, do we actually have a decent amount of cotton? We do. Alright, so in that case, we're going to start going to furniture, double beds, cloth. It'll get some beds built on that side of the room, and it will slowly switch those over. That could become a proper prison cell. This? Yeah, well, I mean, I was going to make that into a prison cell, now that the doors are closed. But back here, no, that's too big. Like, I could see this tiny little room over here. What I'd probably do is instead of a prison cell, I could see, like, storing, you know, valuable stuff or dangerous stuff in there, that kind of thing. All right. Do we have defenses yet? Oh no, we have nothing of the sort. We'll need to build those. Those always become tricky to do when you don't have your masks yet. Because it means you're going to be building walls in the toxic waste for extended periods of time. Observed a corpse, hungry, unsightly environment, darkness. You're sick from the toxic buildup that you're getting for the retrieving the ducks. In the worst case, a lot of those ducks we're treating are going to instantly rot when we kill them. Like, I wouldn't mind ducks later in the run. Berserk. You hit on another person, you're mad that they shot you down? Alright, so... Can blindfolds prevent observed corpse? I would assume so. It makes sense for them to do that. Tend to them immediately. Alright. There we go. There, so I patched up the pretty bad injuries that person got. Man, I would assume blindfolds. I've never tested it though. It makes sense for it to prevent the person from being like, I observed corpse, get mad. Alright, so pretty soon we'll have this area all enclosed in. We'll have it set up. So we've got our barracks back here. We've got our temple / rec room / dining room. We've got a production room up here. This room here is just a storage room. We got our little prison. That'll probably be where we keep important stuff, like mech resurrection serum, mech heal serum, stuff like that we want to, you know, lock off. For right now, it's not going to be anything. I don't have a clue what I'm going to do with that room. This room, I could see that being a throne room, or make that into the temple in the long run. Not sure. Maybe an actual throne room. We could do that potentially this run. Alright, so you're back up. Go ahead and get your sword again. Alright. So those are going okay still. I'm waiting to see what this research is before I make my decision on my next move. If it is the face mask, or if it is the complex clothing so I can get face masks and all that, Electricity. Alright. So electricity by itself isn't worth anything to me. Because it either needs air conditioning or something else to support it. Because I won't be able to go out of my way for, like, batteries or whatever. But electricity is one of those things that blocks off a lot of stuff. Now, the downside is, by getting electricity, all of this gets opened up to us, which lowers the odds of getting complex clothing. Because there's just more possibilities. So that's not my favorite. So what we're going to try and do is try and get some kind of defense going. Let's go up here and delete that corner for a moment. Yeah, we'll go this way. For right now. Eventually this will have to move for our firing line and all that. We'll do... Insecurity. Actually, wait. If I do that paired like that, it's not going to work. No, yeah, it will, because they can occupy the same tile. That's fine. Alright. Okay, so what we want to do up here is for right now, our weapons have a range. Usually it's around like 20-something tiles I want. Yeah, we'll go with the 20-something tiles. Alright, so let's go here, go to orders, planning. And that'll be how long our kill box is. Actually, this might work out pretty okay. Cool. That should work. Because, yeah, then they'll go in, they'll wind around here, they'll go past these. Realistically, I want to change this all to stone later, but this also means I could duck in here to do repairs and all that really quickly, or to, like, do stuff like debate them different ways. That's definitely one strategy. You can also do shenanigans with doors to, like, flip them back and forth. I haven't been doing much of that, but it wouldn't be a terrible idea. But that'll just be our initial version of the kill box. Please don't lay down the pollution. It's not a good move. Yeah, we'll also go zones. Remove pollution zone. Remove the pollution from the kill box. The marriage is on. Anime big boy proposed marriage to Kalaria Star. Where did you go? Cool, we got electricity. Kalaria Star, and the two are now engaged. Aww. Yay. And so what I'm doing right now is I am taking the time to build roofs along all of my wood walls to make a fire break. Fire is usually not that big a deal on the pollution challenge because there's just not that much flammable, but it can be, so I'm going to take the time to do this right. Basically all I'm doing is I'm just making an area that is large enough that the pollution, or the fire, or sorry, large enough that the stuff growing can't reach it. Solar flare, don't care. Alright, so we gotta keep an eye on people's toxic buildup. Initial's fine, but I do not want to get higher than initial, because that quickly becomes a major problem. Alright, we got all that sorted. This will not be done in any reasonable time frame. Oh, missed that tile. And this tile, and this tile. So the back part is basically going to take a while to get done. That's totally fine. Okay, and then what we'll ultimately need to do, we can do this while we're waiting, is expand Area 1. Area 1 will be like the safe zone or whatever you want to say. This will be the area that we keep the pollution out of. Initially. I guess it's already been moved. It probably sprouted right in here and we got rid of it immediately. Alright, so that means when things go down, we just tell them to stay in the Area 1 zone, and that's what we got going there. How are people doing on the pollution buildup? Still just a couple at initial. You were at minor. That's not what we want. So schedule. You're restricted. Because what should happen is we'll be able to get all the pollution out of this general area, and then we don't have to worry about that. That basically, by keeping them kind of in the indoors area, will be good. Man, you got beaten the absolute crap out of. How are you doing? So you have a mask, which is what thing's helping you. The good news is 3 of our people have masks already just from, like, taking them from people. We bought one of them. Stuff like that. So we got that all sorted out pretty fast. Oh, you need more over here. Okay. Pollutioning is a very interesting dynamic. Yeah. And the thing is, going into pollution by itself isn't a threat. It's just one of those things that if you take the risk of going into it way too much, it'll eventually catch up to you and get you. Borrowed without intent of return. Yeah, that one. Alright, so burn apparel. Do forever. If it is tainted, burn apparel. Do forever. If it is below 80% and is not utility. So that way stuff like some of these pants and all that, when they get out of hand, will be gotten rid of. Is there a cutout for the cancer risk? No, if you have, like, I think it's literally if you have any, you have some risk, but it's just, you know, by default, it's a very negligible risk. But as it builds up, the amount of risk you have compounds, that it gets way, way higher risk the higher you go. And then if you do hit 100% pollution, you just die. Alright, so we've got refugees. We can actually afford to do that. Alright, so they are all adults, which means we will drop their weapons immediately, because if there are no children, they can betray you. So I definitely don't want to take my chances with that. None of them are set up to cook, so that's fine. Just fixing all those priorities real fast. That's fine, I don't care. They're honestly going to stand around and not contribute much for most of this time. Yeah, I don't want you crafting, because when you leave, anything you craft will stay unfinished. So yeah, so they're just more or less going to stand around and do whatever. That's fine. They'll clean and all that stuff. If the refugees betray you and they win, it treats it exactly like a raid. They'll show up, they might steal some stuff, and then leave. Yeah, they can also just stay around and do whatever. But yeah, basically it's kind of the same idea. As like, it works exactly like a raid. It's just a raid that starts inside your base. Is ultimately what it boils down to. All right. Okay. No. The only thing RimWorld does by default without mods is they'll either kill your colonists or they will kidnap them. If they kidnap them, they'll just grab them and run away. But it never really gets into what is done to your colonists. They might take them back and kill them, who knows. It's just left ambiguous. Which is good, because it doesn't matter. It'd be nice if there was a hidden slave rebellion game mode. I wouldn't want them to waste the time on that. That to me doesn't... That to me is having a, like... That's the equivalent of the escape mode in Prison Architect. It's interesting, but how many people do you know that actually play it more than just, like, once or twice to be like, oh, that's neat, and then never again? I would rather they spend that time to work on stuff like make the caravanning mechanic not at all what it is currently. Because that's very easily the one thing that, if people ask you, it's like, what's the mechanic you think that you'd like to see redone, reworked, improved, whatever, that's the one that stands out for me. I am very openly, the caravanning mechanic is not good. Like, you tolerate it, but it's definitely, to me, out of all of RimWorld stuff, very, very much the standout of, this is the thing that doesn't work great. Okay. And then plus, honestly, I'm not someone who... Like, I get like the slave rebellion thing is fine. You need to not be sleeping out there, friend. You will literally die. Alright, go to sleep there. Like, I would prefer the game stay away from slavery anymore than it already has. Like, it has slaves in the game. You could choose to do it. As a mechanic, it's pretty eh. It's also a mechanic I have zero interest in doing on any level. Like, I realize it's a video game, it's not real, but also I have no interest in simulating that. But yeah, no, I would much rather, like, if they were going to go and add any new system to the game, I'd either A, want them to just completely rework caravanning to actually make making nomadic runs sound like an interesting and meaningful thing to do, or I could go for something along the lines of the Save Your Ship style thing, which, for those unfamiliar with Save Your Ship, the mod, it's, instead of just building a ship where you just ram some pods together and all that, instead, like, you would build your ship as, like, kind of a self-enclosed colony, and you could launch that, and then have a phase of the game that takes place in space. Now, would they do that? I don't think so. Like, very genuinely, I don't think they would tackle, like, a Save Your Ship kind of thing, but I would much rather have something like that. That's it. I have no idea what they have in store. I have heard rumblings that we're going to find out soon, but the sources I've heard them from kind of, sometimes they do end up saying, you know, giving information that is accurate ahead of time, and then sometimes they have information that's just wrong. So it's kind of sometimes they do work out and sometimes they don't. Add some random doors here so we have ways to get out from different directions. And I mean that in the sense of stuff that's unannounced, unleaked, that they were like a source kind of thing. But I don't expect them to have an in with Tynan on what's happening in RimWorld. I also don't think the devs behind RimWorld have started, like, talking to a whole bunch of, like, marketing people and agencies, because they usually don't operate in that manner anyways. So who knows? There's been updates to beta, and the last time they hit beta hard was the previous DLC. Oh yeah, no, that's the thing. We know 100%, like, that it's been fairly confirmed at this point that they are actively working on a DLC, and that most likely that DLC is coming out this year. Those are things we're really high confidence on. But the matter of what that DLC contains and when, that's the thing that, you know, is being discussed. Now, the person who gave me the information, like, one, I wouldn't tell you, even if I could 100% confirm it, I wouldn't do it anyways. That's just, I personally feel when information leaks about games, it's bad for everyone. Because even if you get excited about it, guess what? You don't get to play it for a while. So you didn't gain anything from it. And then a lot of times that can really ruin, like, the hype for the game and everything, because it'll be like, oh, that's what the DLC, like, and a whole bunch of stuff. I'd much rather, you know, it pops out when it pops out, like, that kind of thing. Okay, and how are we doing with the pollution? So we got the pollution pulled up from here. So I'm not seeing bags laying around. How are we doing with pollution around here? So those bags haven't decayed yet. We got a new stack here. Oh, I am suddenly dreading. Do you have the bags of pollution in here? We haven't cleared it to not do that, right? Never, ever, ever leave the toxic bags here, friends. Oh, I got rid of the other one. I understand. Alright. Let's see. RimWorld has a lot of things the average marketing people would remove from the game. Yeah, no, understandably. So that's kind of the thing. When you look at a games, there's lots of games that go for, like, the edge factor. And RimWorld's no exception. The reason I like RimWorld compared to most games that go for, like, that edge factor is a lot of the games that go with that edge factor, it's forced. You're required to. Where very famously RimWorld takes the morally gray of, it is an option you can do, but like, you know, you do that if you want, I guess, but why would you? Like that kind of approach. Alright, so boom rats are mad. Is there any meaningful number? I mean, I guess there's a couple. Alright, well, our kill box is done. That's fine. Actually, you should be up front. Yeah, so we got 2 on the right, 1 there. Oh, you all need to be inside, friends. Pop in here, please. Oh, so you still didn't add the mode that does positioning? I forgot about it. Like, I hadn't specifically planned to play RimWorld today. Cool. We managed to bait it. Okay, and everyone's back out of the kill box. Okay, so you got a little bounced by fire and all that. That's fine. Okay. The GTA is an exception as being marketed for the edge factor. Oh, GTA is like not the exception. There's like so many games that edge factor is literally the game. And I'm not saying it's necessarily true of GTA. I'm not saying GTA a bad game. But there are so many games that like the entire idea is for those games to like have that, you know, cringe edge, whatever you want to call it. Like that's a very common, like it's become more and more common over time after GTA, because GTA they had like an entire, I don't know if it was TED Talk or what it was, but they had an entire, it's probably been multiple, they had many number of talks that the devs did that are like, oh yeah, like we wanted to do as much as we could to get like the news talking about us without actually getting the game pulled from shelves. Like that was the line they were trying to dance on, is they deliberately wanted to be so edgy that every news agency wanted to talk about it. But they just want to make sure the game stayed on the shelves. And that they were extremely successful with it and yada yada yada. But after they gave that talk, we had a huge range of games that they're like, you can do cannibalism, you can do this, you can do that. Like, everyone is coming up with their new edge factor. It's one of the reasons that, like, it felt like after that talk, every third game had cannibalism as a mechanic in it, that every survival game was like, but eat people, and it's like, I don't want to. It was interesting when someone was like, ah, a new thing, but then every game had it, and it became no longer even interesting, it became annoying. Because you see it for what it is after a while. It's just a thing they do to... Sorry, I'm struggling between why I'm not seeing plant cut. Remove. Not remove paint. Why am I not... There you are. It's just kind of a thing that happened, like, everywhere. It's defensive position is the name... Defensive positions is the name of the mod. I know the mod, I just forgot. I probably even have it installed, I just didn't turn it on. Food binge, that's totally fine. But yeah, no, it's a very deliberate thing that the GTA devs did that. There's oh, what was it, Calvin and Hobbes? There was a Calvin and Hobbes comic about, and it was talking about like death metal back in the day, but you know, it was talking about some band that's supposed to be like the, you know, one of those bands challenging the machine and doing all that sort of stuff, and one of the parents like goes, oh yeah, it's like, you know, this whole thing, and they're talking about like marketing and all that, and you just see like Calvin like just walk away like kind of dejected, being like, oh, because like, oh, it's just corporate thing. Refuel the fire. But RimWorld is not marketed that way, yet it gives those possibilities. RimWorld doesn't market itself though, not really. Not majorly. Like they definitely got all over the place word of mouth. Like you don't see advertisements for RimWorld like you would with like GTA or something like that. But yeah, I mean, like, if you look at games that go for the edge factor, the survival genre in general, look at how many of those get, like, to morally questionable and dubious. Like, you've got, you know, The Forest, which is kind of the big thing, is you become the bad thing. You've got all sorts of ones that you know, you're escaped prisoners and all that, trying to survive, and you do awful things to accommodate that. You know, how many of them feature cannibalism? It's like more than half of them. Dior said, RimWorld did get banned in Australia, but the decision was reversed when the government changed. So it wasn't when if I remember correctly, and I could have the details wrong, it wasn't that the government changed. What happened was RimWorld got banned in Australia for drug use. That it was effectively seen as glorifying drug use. And so what ended up happening is the devs came around like, we don't glorify drug use. Look at what our game does. And then they were like, oh, and then, you know, they took it back down. That it was like they got rid of the ban because it definitely doesn't glorify drug use, considering how incredibly awful the side effects of drug use can be in the game. All right, so you've cleaned up too much pollution. I don't actually have a place I can put that. Hopefully we'll have one of these Pollux trees will have some rot off pretty soon. Those aren't going to rot off anytime soon, so that's not great. Those are doing perfectly fine. That's not great. Those are getting low. Okay. But yeah, so it was around the drug use specifically. So it wasn't some like big sweeping thing. It was they went into the belief that the game depicted drug use in a positive manner, which I guess Australia had a lot of rules around that. Oh, the PM changed? Yeah, but that wasn't a single... Unless the PM came out and said, I need you to unban this. That wasn't really related. Or government went too far on limiting video game. Like, unless that was their campaign trail or whatever. It was just an unrelated thing, really. Alright. Yeah, my point was more, the government had under the implication that RimWorld glorified drug use, and then after giving it a more critical look, went never mind and unbanned it. Because I could see on the surface where someone would go, here's this game, send a bunch of clips or whatever, where, you know, the person pops what's effectively speed and then just tanks a bunch of shots and saves the day, and they'd be like, okay, that's glorifying drug use. Because if that was the whole story, it would be. And now I'm not personally someone who thinks those should necessarily be banned, but if that's your rules, that's your rules. But then you look at the fact that the diction in this game is horrifically bad and a whole bunch of stuff like that, and you go, wait, never mind, it's okay. Like, most of the people I've seen who use the drugs to make things work almost always end up having some real problems. We're gonna need the campfires anyways. They almost always have problems down the line. Because, like, you'll have the person who gets addicted to stuff, and you can't have them, you know, sucking go juice every time their addiction comes up. You only like Cytine go juice? What are you to do on the rim? Get a prescription if you need drugs to treat depression? I'm not sure where you're trying to go with this. Obviously, there's no government or regulation on the rim. People also cannibalize, enslave, and murder things, so this might not be the let's try and take the moral considerations of, you know, whether or not I have a prescription. You never seen someone use Lucy? In the game, I've used Luciferum on characters on the very rare exception. But that's the thing. Like, that used to be the only way to fix certain problems back in the day. Like, if you had your character had a whole bunch of scars, Luciferum was the only way to get rid of them. But nowadays with biotech, you just don't need it. But yeah, no, that's anytime people try to make it like discussion of morals and all that regarding, like, there's certainly an argument to be said, okay, well, what about cannibalism and slavery and all that? Sure. But, like, if you're gonna have, like, the argument be about prescriptions or something, yeah, and also, as Jay Walker's saying, prescription is one thing, but these drugs are not the same thing. Right, so almost all the drugs in this game have a real-world analog. You know, between, like, speed, cocaine, marijuana, the Cytine just being a mild hallucinogenic, whatever. And, like, when you look at what they've got in here, pretty much everything after that point, these are not minor drugs. These are the stuff that get made illegal pretty much everywhere, because, oh boy, do they hit hard. We're not talking like the really minor stuff. Like smoke leaf would be the equivalent to marijuana in the game. And you don't need well, actually, I think you do need research for that. No, you don't. You don't need any research for that, but the psychoid brewing you do. But, like, there's those whole things. Now, a lot of the, like, pretty much the entire stack would be illegal. Now, there's places that marijuana is legalized, which I actually am in favor of and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. Well, there is, again, O10, there is no regulation on the rim. It doesn't matter. There's no regulation. There's no government. There's no anything. So discussing regulation on the rim is a meaningless conversation because it doesn't exist. So let's just drop the regulation on the rim discussion because it makes no sense. Are we dropping frames? We were dropping. Well, I'm not dropping frames as in, like, the stream isn't dropping frames. It's RimWorld is dropping frames. The game itself is stuttering a little bit. So it's nothing with stream. It's not on your end. It's not on OBS. It's RimWorld itself is just kind of chugging a little bit here and there. I don't even know why. We really have not a whole lot going on. But it's kind of like the idea of, like, playing Project Zomboid and going, oh, but you know, we need to discuss the regulation and the prescription processes in the zombie. No, you don't. There's no government. Do what you want. It's not Otan. It's not about, like, we're dropping this conversation. A government can say, we don't believe you should glorify drugs and hold it up if that's their laws. That's their thing. If the people in that area don't like it, they can, you know, vote the people out or whatever the appropriate procedures. That's a whole other mess. But these are still hardcore drugs over here. And in Australian law, they were saying that you cannot glorify that. It doesn't matter if it's illegal or not in the world you create. You're not allowed to glorify it. It could be that everyone in the world is physically required to, you know, take cocaine 3 times a day just to not die because of some, you know, sci-fi. the answer is still you're not allowed to glorify it, or your game is illegal. Like your game gets pulled from the shelves. That's their rules. You have to live by it, or you just don't sell there. But if you bring the topic up again, you'll be timed out, because we're done with that. Thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream. Because my monitor is doing strange things, you bought a Switch button that can change between the CPU and the Nintendo Switch. It's been making my monitor do strange things. Oh, yeah. If you have an HDMI switch or a display cable switch, a lot of the times, the budget ones, they will say that they have ratings they don't have, that sometimes you'll have an HDMI switch that'll be like HDMI 1 or whatever that can't drive higher-end monitors and that kind of stuff. So they'll stutter and all that. They just don't have the throughput to handle it. That's when you gotta be real careful when you buy USB switches, HDMI switches, display cable switches, that especially a lot of them will even say that they support, 3 gigahertz per second or whatever, or the 3 gigabits per second transfers at 2.1, all that. But what they don't tell you is that's if only one device is there. Why? Oh, you're out of wood. Oh. It's been so long since I've done the challenge, I totally forgot how much of an issue that is. Right, I need to dedicate part of my farm to just wood. I forgot about that. That's bad. Where's the peppercorn? So what's going to end up happening is we're going to go to our assignments now, and they're going to eat raw food, because we can't fix this problem in the short term. So raw food it up, people. Let's see. A KVM switch any good? It's the same thing. You always got to, like, it's not to say that they don't have good ones. To be clear, you can get HDMI switches that are absolutely perfectly good. It's just a lot of the cheap ones, they're cheap because they're only technically true to what they say, but not actually. Not what they say they do, but not what they imply they say they do. So again, it supports like USB 2, but then you actually get the device, and it could handle USB 2 if you were only running one device. So how do you know if you got a good one then? You just gotta look up you gotta either look up the reviews on it, or you can get to like the really technical specs. It isn't one of those things you can like look at the back of it and just do it, because it is deliberately being obtuse. Like that's the entire thing, is they're very deliberately trying to make it hard for you to know what you got going on. What is oh, food poisoning major. I was supposed to be like, no. You might have. You ever lucky they stripped the video signal of HDCP? I have no idea. That's always... You thought maybe $20 was kind of cheap. Yeah, it's always one of those things. And it is a thing. When you look at a device and it seems like, this seems relatively cheap for this, most of the time there's a reason for it, and it's a reason you're not going to like. Not always. Sometimes there's another reason why it happens to be cheap. I really need that to decay so that we can haul this bag out of here before it splotches right back down. Hide in room because you ate raw food. Okay, we can redo their assignments. Food restrictions, select restriction, lavish. Do not allow raw food anymore. Okay. High definition content protection. Oh, yeah, I wouldn't worry about that. Like all stuff for like circumventing DMCA or like the what is it, country coding and all that. That's not a thing I'm worried about one way or the other. So the big problem we have right now is we burn through a lot of our wood, and you might say, oh, you're cutting down 1 billion trees. They're 4 wood each. They're basically worthless. They're just a little... I think the fiber corn might even be worth more wood per unit. I can't remember. No. It's like 2 units of fiber corn per tree, so it's terrible. But in the absence of anything else, you know, you take what you can get. Let's see, it's also an issue if you want to build custom screen backlights. Yeah. But nah, it's the same. It's also the same thing with cables. A lot of times when you find like, oh, this is a Cat 6 cable and then it costs like half as much as all the other ones, you're probably not actually getting a Cat 6 cable. You'll see times where it's like, here's a Cat 7 cable, here's a Cat 8 cable, here's a Cat 9 cable. Those aren't really things you can go out there and get that do anything right now. Devices aren't built with them in mind, so most of the people who are selling them are schlepping you lies. Usually it's just like a Cat 5, Cat 6 cable, and maybe they did something extra to it, but it doesn't matter. Like right now, you choose between a Cat 5, Cat 6. That's what you're ordering. But just some random Amazon seller with like 5 reviews, absolutely. It's one of the things that Amazon has had a lot of criticism against it lately, and by like lately I mean like the last 5 years, that they have had a lot of just different sellers pop on and have stuff that is underpriced, and you know, it'll work, but it just won't work at the spec that they're claiming, and they'll charge the higher spec prices. Yeah, HDMI cables are like $100 will $100 without Landis claims. Oh yeah. You'll have like it's almost any device you'll see, you'll have like, this is HDMI 5 cable. Here's a hint. There's no such thing as HDMI 5. Sometimes you can get lucky and get something that's actually decent, but most of the time not. Nah, that's the thing. There's lots and lots and lots of people who scam on Amazon. They'll, like I said, they'll spec out something. Like anytime, that's one of the things. There is a premium when you pay for a named brand that you recognize. This is true. But you also have the confidence. If I go and I buy a computer from Microsoft and it has this list of specs, I know it has that list of specs. Whether or not I like the device is certainly another thing, but it has those specs. If I buy a computer from Apple, I can look at those specs. I know it will have those specs. If I go to, you know, Corsair or HyperX or, you know, any major well-known and established company, you know those specs will be correct. But when you go to like, you know, John's PC Ultimate cables or whatever, and some of them will do really clever stuff. So there's like Power USA is a brand, but you'll have someone will have like Power US, which isn't the same thing, but very is clearly deliberately trying to have you make a mistake. That they'll do that. Or like and this is like major manufacturers used to do this, like back in the early 2000s, is they would sell like the super duper 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 cheap computers, like the old E-machines, and you'd have the choice of buying Windows or Lindows with an L, which was a Linux-based Windows that at the time was terrible. Actually, I think Windows was always terrible, but Linux got better over time. But it was a thing. They'd be like, oh, you could get Windows or Lindows, and Lindows is like $100 cheaper, and you're, well, probably like $50 cheaper. And it was like a $400 computer or some nonsense. But like, you were getting a computer that you could probably put in a potato and probably have more power than that thing happened. Let's see, soap and body works with shampoo in Amazon is not the same as in store. Yeah, that's you gotta be real careful. Alright, so the growing season is over. I'm not super thrilled about that, but we did manage to put away about 1,000 food. So we should be able to potentially ride out the winter. It is pretty cold in here. I don't think I can keep all this running. Well, one thing we could do is power. There's not enough space down there to do it that way. Or up here. I'm trying to not make this an atrocious splitting. Okay, that's not a bad spot. Is that... Can that come down? That's the question. Can I remove that roof or is it mountain overhead? That tile's mountain overhead. Eh. really not a good place for me to put this that it's not going to cost me stuff later. Like, I can put this here, but I can't really turn around the other way. Exotic goods trader. They can apply for in-store stuff too, like sometimes TVs for sale at a good price, say Walmart. It's slightly different model than one. Oh yeah, no, that's that was when I used retail is when I learned about this one. There is a very, very common thing that you'll probably remember, you know, will price match anyone who has whatever. It is a very common practice that what you'll do is you'll go to the store, and this will be a Samsung plasma screen TV model R43D, and then you'll have a Samsung model, like plasma screen TV model for R3DC. And all of the specs are exactly the same, but they'll have like a minor bezel tweak or something like that that has no functional difference. But then they won't price match it because it's a different model. And the C will be the Walmart version, and the D will be like the Sears version or whatever. That's been a thing for a long time. I mean, a healing enhancer is nice, but it's out of our budget. Sadly, I could buy the Glitter World. I kind of want the Glitter World. Just in case we get like a hit of malaria. We are in a tile that we get 1.2 times the rate of disease. So slightly higher than normal, but not by much. So let's go here real fast before I forget. Defaults, do not use Glitter World, do not use Glitter World, do not use Glitter World, because my luck, someone will get a bruised nose and they'll hit it with Glitter World. So we're going to get rid of all that. Are you finally recovered? Okay. So we can take you off of restriction. Okay. But that used to be a whole thing, because there's a whole bunch of gimmicks they did. Like, for example, I worked at Sears, and we'd have all our different sales and promotions that, 50% off these tools and all that. And then we'd have things that they would have the 9.7 price point, so it'd say, whatever, $15.97, which was a great price item, not eligible for any and all other discounts. And they'll deliberately make it confusing so that you like look at the flyer that would have been in your newspaper or whatever, and you'd look at it and be like, oh, they're offering 40% all tools under this brand. Hey, look, that one there, 40% off of that is an amazing price, but have that 9.7 after it, and it would have on there that's like does not apply to great price items or whatever it is in like the fine print. But then, of course, you'd come and be like, I'm going to pull a fast one on Sears. I'm going to get that drill set that clearly should be like $20, and I'm going to get it for like $10 and walk away. It's going to be great. And then, it doesn't qualify. So it's very deliberately misleading, while again, technically correct. Or we'd have like the 9.8 price point, which was like, it was like discontinued discount kind of thing. Like the first phase of that, those usually weren't eligible for it as well. And then it was something like the 9.3 price point meant it was like, this is seriously going away. Like it's been away for a while. And then we'd have the, I don't remember what it was. It was like 3 cents on the end of that. And that meant, like basically, take it off the floor. If someone sees it, you could sell it, but take it off the floor. And then when it was zeroed out, so it had like an actual 0.0 price point on it, that meant literally it's garbage. You're not allowed to sell it anymore. You have to take it to the warehouse and have it dumped. It was a whole thing. They had a whole art behind it. Let's see. Reminds me of how they say the final prices by raising the regular price at some point in the past year and then claiming the sale price. Oh yeah, no, that's a normal practice. Well, I would go and do the peace talks, but we'll freeze to death. That's the reason we're all just kind of huddled up in here right now. Is because I can't grow anything. It's winter. I can't really have us go anywhere. What we can do is we could take this waste rat here, and we can murder the crap out of it. Yeah, that's a very, very common practice in retail. When you know you're gonna be doing a high sale at some point, is to increase the price, some period of time before you're going to raise it. And then, do that. Luckily, there's been a lot of countries in the European Union who have made that practice illegal. That I don't know how they go through the enforcement mechanism of it, but that they're like, okay, you can't artificially raise your price to then put on sale and that kind of stuff. But yeah, that's what things I get disappointed. There's still a few stores that do it out there, this time grocery stores. I used to really like it that a lot of stores for a little while were getting really good about, on the actual price tags, they'd have, like, this costs $5. But then when you looked before, it's like, and it's, 29 cents per ounce or whatever the price ends up being. And it made life way easier. Because you'd sit there and you'd look at, like, oh, I want to buy cereal. And you'd have, like, whatever your rice cereal is. And you have, like, your 4 different brands of rice cereal. And it'd all have different size and shapes and volume boxes at different price points. And you'd sit there and have to, like, do the algebra of going, okay, well, this box is bigger, but the price is higher. But this box is smaller, but the price is lower. Like, which one is actually the better price? And a lot of times it'd be, like, one in the middle that was actually the best price. And it was a huge pain in the butt. And for a while, a bunch of the stores were taking the time to, update their labels to show the per ounce price because customers demanded it. But over the years, a lot of those stores stopped doing it. I only know like 1 or 2 that still do. But it absolutely frustrates me. Yeah, no, I found most of the time the big box, the value one, ends up being worse per ounce, worse per unit or whatever. Because, okay, you bought a Kinavo switcher that has 70,000 reviews, and it's HDMI switch K HDR to 16 gigabytes per second. I mean, that sounds promising if the reviews were good. So really, I feel like I see that at Walmart or grocery stores pretty regular. There's only a couple, like a lot of them stopped doing it. Or they do it inconsistently. Let's see, sadly Black Friday isn't as good as in Australia as the US. More deals are not worth looking at, plus searching the products at Amazon is very annoying. Oh yeah, no, that sounds like it's probably a good one, She-Wolf. It could be your cable. It could be the switch isn't the problem, it could be the cables. Those cables actually do end up needing to be reseated, some of them aren't good. That's what I was gonna say, is actually Black Friday in the US, even if we go back a long ways, is kind of a scam. What the Black Friday strategy would be, and this is again from working retail myself. So what they would do is they'd have like whatever their big loss leader kind of item is. So you'd have like this plasma screen TV, and I'm just using that because that was like the big thing when I was in retail. You have your plasma screen TV, it would be on like 30% off or something. And the store would have like 2 of them for sale in the store that you could get a hold of. And they wouldn't do rain checks or anything like that. And so you'd go in to try and get it, and you wouldn't get it because they only had a handful on stock, and they deliberately didn't have that many. Or you'd have like the loss leader thing where you have like a hand drill that it's marked a decent amount off, but again, it's kind of a crap drill or whatever. But it is just one of those things that kind of really ends up not being that great. It looks good on paper, but usually the stuff that you can get in any meaningful quantity is usually junk or stuff they're trying to get rid of. And the stuff you really want, they usually don't have enough on hand to do it. And a lot of times they will be like, no rain checks, none of this. First come, first serve, and they'll have like a very small inventory. To be fair, a lot of stores have actually stopped doing the Black Friday sales here in the US, which I appreciate. Because it was a thing that they were doing, that they would go, okay, well, the store opens at midnight. Okay, well, now the store opens at 11 p.m. the day before. Okay, well, no, now the Black Friday... It just got more and more absolutely ridiculous. Buddha says, my second day at Best Buy years and years and years ago was Black Friday as a cashier. It was exhausting. Yeah, I was a salesman at Sears, and I hated Black Friday because all I was dealing with nothing but pissed off customers and telling them how we didn't have whatever they were looking for. Like, there were Black Fridays we would go in that would have the things for sale on the pamphlet, and we wouldn't even have it in the store before the sale. And that was like a very regular occurrence. And people would sit outside the store at like 1 a.m. trying to score this TV that we didn't even have. All right. We'll go ahead. Well, actually, we'll go ahead and get rid of all those. Take the Pila. We want to keep the components. We're probably fine for the food, I think. Oh, go ahead and take that launcher. I don't want it. But yeah, so it's very genuinely. Now, at least like when you go onto Amazon and that kind of stuff, at least you didn't have to wake up and like drive to the store and camp out in line and all that BS. Because luckily that's been going away. But there is decent sales for those like days and all that, but I don't know. I deliberately, having worked retail and realizing how much of it's just psychological cons and everything, I just don't play. Like that's we have people occasionally drop by and they're trying to like promote whatever ISP to like switch over to them and all that. And the moment it's any type of like pressure thing, I'm like, nope, gone. It's like, but it's a great deal. Doesn't even matter if it's the greatest deal. You went for the high pressure, I'm out because I know you're trying to manipulate me. It doesn't even matter if that sale was in my best interest. I already know how this game is played and I will not play it. But you did the standing in line night thing a couple of times back in the day. It was never worth it. Oh, it never was. Do caravans and RimWorld have sales? Nope. That's gonna rot right there, isn't it? Birthday! Oh, we never named this anyone out here. Oh, good. Oh, you were 77? Okay, well, I forgot to name this person after someone, so someone's about to be an elderly person who's not gonna be de-aged because we won't have that tech. Sorry, Marcos, please. At least you got to be part of the colony. Well, you'll be part of the colony for as long as we can keep you alive. I won't promise that'll be long. It is RimWorld. But thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, for those who didn't catch, I didn't catch that this person is 77 years old. To give you an idea, this person who I was super excited to get because they're super immune, quick sleeper, kind, is like, heck yeah. You love the Boga videos? I mean, are you talking about where... Because I think it was Kit that is the one who deals with scam callers. That, like, scam callers call him and he gets them walking in circles till they get pissed off and hang up on him. Otan, can we not? Like... We need the age reversal thing. Yeah. Oh yeah, no, they're fun. It is random that you'd hop in the channel and just... Is there a reason the thread went there? Because it's usually considered bad form to jump into someone's channel and like have first message talk about someone else's channel. Like, don't get me wrong, I enjoy Kit's stuff. I haven't watched in a long time, but I used to. And like, I do think what he does is an absolutely a community service. For those who don't know, basically... He gets scam people to call him, and then he just tries to drag them out on the phone for as long as possible. That the idea behind it is, the longer he can keep them like, talking in circles with him, that means they're not, you know, scamming someone's grandma. All right. Progress 45 minutes? Yeah, I used to do that stuff until you realize that part of the way it works is if you answer the phone at all, it basically adds you onto a bunch of their stuff to be called more and more. And while certainly there is like the community service of fielding those calls so they don't go to people who fall for the scam and all that, it just kind of escalates it more and more. Oh bad, dude. Like watching RimWorld and you mentioned scammer. Sorry, I was disrespectful. No, it's no problem. It wasn't disrespectful. It's just kind of like normally if someone had just been like hanging out and mentioning it, it would have been like a non-thing. But it was because it was first time chatter that kind of made me scratch my head, going, What? Nah, but you're good. We have a lot of people who pop in who... Part of the reason I figured it was fine is because you were promoting, like you were saying an actually big channel that I know the person's on the up and up and all that kind of stuff. We do unfortunately have a lot of people that what ends up happening is they have their friend who just started streaming or whatever their thing is, that they'll hop into a channel and they'll just be like, oh, this is good content, just like my buddy over here and their channel. And then they leave. And it ends up being a thing that we have to like play whack-a-mole with every once in a while. It's not super often, but it is usually the bigger your channel, the worse it gets. But yeah, now you're good. You always just ignore the call and let them go to voicemail. Give them no interaction whatsoever. Yeah, that's what you should do. When a scam caller goes through, you should just let them talk to nothing. Yeah, now you're all good. I was just explaining it. What is with everyone giving me gene packs all of a sudden? It's such a shame because I can't take advantage of it. I also probably can't do this because I don't have any bricks or the means of getting bricks. So it seems like we're just kind of standing around waiting. It's too cold for my people to really do a whole lot. Our plants aren't really growing right now because it's too cold. Darth is researching their heart out to try and give us stuff to do, but we've like done what we can until we move forward. Alright, so you're almost the point I can put more bags down. Yeah, so I can get about 14 bags worth of pollution up. It's really hard to gauge what amount of area that is. So let's go and take that sliver up there. You think people are already developing scam baiting AI? Probably. The issue is there's probably 10 times as many who are developing scamming AI. Hey, Kirliz, how's it going? If you accidentally answer a call that might be spam, I say hello once, wait 10 seconds, and usually auto hang up if I don't hear anything. Yeah. I just genuinely don't pick up my phone unless I know who's on the other side. Like, I physically keep my phone on silent almost all the time. Part of it's because streaming, I'll forget to turn it off, and then you'll have, ringtone in the middle of stream disrupting things. But, that was, oh man, what was it? There was a news article. I didn't read the full article, because, like, oh, I see, this is just clickbait garbage. But, it was basically talking about how, people who are millennials and Generation Z and all that they're like, oh, they're so dysfunctional, they're so dysfunctional, like antisocial. So many of them keep their calls on silent the whole time. It's like, no, we keep our calls on silent because we get nothing but crap through it. If you want us to actually use a phone as a phone, you need to stop the scam calls, or at least knock them back a lot. Because I'll tell you, for the phone calls I probably get 40, 50, 60 calls that are scams to every call that worth something. And 90% of the ones that are worth something is just, here is a reminder for your dentist appointment tomorrow, or whatever thing. Like, it's just, like, literally you'll get 2, 3, 4 calls a day that are a scam. It's just so ridiculous. You get grocery deliveries? Yeah, no, that's, to me that's got a very strong accessibility argument why they do need to do more about scam calls and all that. Because very genuinely, the scams are just getting so aggressive and all that, that it does make it hard for people to be, people who can't go to the store, whether it's because they have health problems or disabilities or they're elderly or whatever the reason. Like, there's a reason why grandparents get taken so much by them, because they have no choice but to use the phone a lot of times. Is it just the one? Nope, it's 4 of them. Alright, so you get in close range. You can go on the other side. I do wish we would do a lot more about that kind of stuff, which I know is easier said than done. It is a whack-a-mole situation. But still. Android security fear, or whatever it's called, really cut down scam calls. Oh yeah, there's been a lot of stuff. Yeah, the number spoofing. My favorite one is when you have the number spoof where it spoofs my own number back to me, and you just kind of scratch your head and go, What? Like, what are you expecting me to do with this? So they're coming in grouped up, which is not my favorite. I'm surprised the machine pistol one tapped that one. Isn't that impersonation? Yeah. It doesn't matter, though. Because those scam calls, they're not, like, doing some clever work around the law. They're straight up illegal. It takes a while for, you know, the various law agencies or whatever to catch up. Please hit the boom rat. Thank you. You pegged the first 3 like really impressively, and that last one just couldn't do it. Let's see, AT&T has an app that filters out some scam calls and lets you report the scammers, which usually catches most of them. Yeah, T-Mobile also has that. I think honestly they all probably have it at this point. You had some important like thing you need to take calls from, but for some reason the phone picked up the caller ID as a spam call. Yeah, because it is one of those things that gets it. But yeah, no, it is impersonation and all that. The thing is, like, it's definitely... Isn't that identity theft even? So it would be identity theft if the person claimed to be me on the call. That would be identity theft. If the phone shows my phone number, but they don't pretend to be me at any point, that wouldn't really be identity theft. It's still a scam call. They're still breaking rules. But where identity theft has a much more severe consequence, it wouldn't be as severe as identity theft. Let's see, to be honest, I used to not answer my phone at all, and I didn't know the number, because PTSD reason. We got a lot better, though. Yeah, we were saying, a lot of them, most maybe, come from out of the country, too, which makes the kind of legal action difficult best. Yeah, so that's the thing. A lot of them do... What happens is they have a phone service outside the country, call into a location here in the US, which then goes through a US IP, which then goes out to you. And they have ways to deal with that. That was actually, I don't remember, I think it was AT&T, but I'm not confident on that. That there was one of the companies that basically government body in their local area got on their butt and were like, hey, we can go back and see that you have this customer that you know has been doing nothing but scam calls for ages. And the scam call thing is getting out of hand, and you need to do something about it. You will, like, stop doing business with them kind of thing. Or we will start, like, really, tightening the screws on you. And for a little while, a lot of these scam calls kind of died down. Because usually when you get these things like the spam emails and all that, it ends up being surprisingly not that many people who are engaging in the illegal activity. It's just they can hit volume. Like, this is going back 4-ish years ago, that they had finally caught up to this one email spammer that had been operating for a while, and they shut him down. And after they shut him down, it was like the total spam email on the internet got reduced by some like 60% or some ridiculous amount. Now, granted, it got filled back in because someone else stepped in to fill the gap. But like, that was how much a single player can be, is they can be the majority of it individually. Geothermal power? Okay. That's a good one. I can't fully take advantage of it right now, but absolutely. You recall that one about the email spammer? Yeah, so it's the same kind of thing with phones, though, as well, that you'll have individual be 20, 30, 40% of all scam calls come out of one company or one entity, whatever you want to call it. Because that did happen. I think it was like 2-3 years ago that they, if I remember the story correctly, I could have these details wrong. I want to say there was a discussion about the ISPs happening in Congress, and it got interrupted multiple times by spam calls. And a person was giving a talk about how annoying the scam calls were getting, and his phone rang with a scam call while he was trying to give the talk. And it actually got people to get off their butt and do something, because it's like, okay, this is like really out of hand. Alright, so I have nothing I can take advantage of. But yeah, so they end up shutting down the company like not allowing it to be operated with a company in the US kind of thing. And that really knocked it down a little bit. But like I said, another one just popped up. It takes a little while. Like, it takes, a couple weeks to a month, but, like, someone will fill the vacuum. And usually they're using the same equipment that the person gets shut down, goes to jail, whatever, and someone else steps in and all that. Might have been a stunt, though. It could have been a stunt. But as bad as the scam calls were, it's also just as likely to have been true. I mean, how many court cases that have gotten disrupted after the judge, like, shut down your phones and someone will be giving, their defense or whatever, and then the phone rings and derails everything. Which, that's on them for being unprofessional. She was saying, identity theft is a very large statute. It actually covers a lot of things, like when I do charge for identity theft, you can use each one as a separate charge. Like, use of someone's phone number is one charge. Every transaction, the person's credit card is also an identity theft. If the person signs the receipt, it is another charge, even if they don't sign the person's name. Just the activist saying, yeah, no, identity theft is a big one, and it can get real out of hand real fast for a person. Because it's like per instance. Because like if I walk into a store and pretend to be someone else one time, that's one thing I've done. But if I then turn around and it's like I'm making my life being that person, I have caused many instances of damage to that person potentially. It's not like, you go to the bank and you take money, like you take money that's not yours. You did the one damage. That's it. You can go into like the severity, not recurve bow. I'll take a recurve bow. Boom. It was actually on the rare occasion pick one up. You forgot where you learned, but a lot of spam calls have a program. It will actually wait for you to say hello twice to trigger for the call to start. Yeah, there's that one. They have gotten smarter with it nowadays. That some of them, if they hear any type of connection whatsoever, like so far as like dead air, that kind of thing, where you clearly picked up your phone, it will mark it as this phone number is valid to like call in the future. Which is the reason is like, yeah, you just don't want to pick up those calls. Alright, so we're just gonna funnel the power right through that wall. Oh, don't put the ceiling on there. Don't do that. That's bad. Don't do that. Alright, this could potentially be an incredibly inefficient freezer. That might actually work. We could make this the kitchen. This could be like just a really bad freezer, but it would work. Close the door. Actually, that could work. So put our double doors here. We don't have the double insulation that we really want. And go zone, stockpile, do this, expand. Oh, wait, that's not going to work. It's too far from our break room. They won't use the tables, and then they'll get all whiny about it. I got real excited there for I was like, we could make this work. Unfortunately, then reality stepped in and crushed our dreams. Sometimes they will. I've had really bad luck where if my dining room is nowhere near my my freezer, they just won't even gauge. Alright, so put heaters in both those rooms, because that's something I can do for now. And you can put a heater in this room. We're also going to go to furniture. Put a standing light here. Standing light there. Standing light here. Alright. Back when you played, you just tossed a table around the base in lots of spots. That is actually a very reasonable strategy, is to literally just put tables all over the place. So mine that, knock this out, mine that. Mine that. Ooh, that's a lot of components on our map. I appreciate this. That's a lot of jade on our map. I'm not a huge fan of the steel being over there. That's asking. That is a lot of components. Holy crap, that's more components than like the last couple of maps combined. So yeah, so all these things I put off, mining and all that. Go ahead and queue those up for them to do. What else do we need to go? Oh, we got some uranium here. Travel computer, we'll deal with that later. Like, right now, we just need to ride out the winter. It's too cold for us to do much. That's fine. We're bringing in all these components. We're bringing in the steel. We'll do fine with that. Here's our power. So the lights are on. And with that, stop supplying that torch and get rid of it. We can toggle off automatically fueling that. Royal Tribute Collector, we're not going to do that. We can go to Ideology. We'll need the Neil... Oh, we still don't have materials for that. I forgot, we got like the dog bed and everything that we're just waiting on. Alright, so we're still collecting the waste packs to get rid of them. I also forgot I can't build a freezer right now anyways because I don't have the materials. So what's going to end up happening is we're going to need to make a freezer. And I think we're just going to literally just smack it right off the back here. Which isn't going to be the greatest. It's also going to need to be a much larger freezer than I normally do because pollution. Actually, don't put it there. No, actually, you can't put it there. Put it here. Let's see, could you just put the dining room closer to the little random room? Yeah, but then I gotta figure out where I'm gonna put it. And I also need to have, like, a really big freezer. What did you make that out of? Don't make it out of steel. Never. Never steel. Okay, hospitality for friends. They'll have one tribesman, so... Okay, food is looking sketch, so we're gonna wait on that. I would like to. Food is getting dicey, though. I was just actually about to be like, wait, I actually want, yeah, don't take that one out. I want that wall to be there. So do that. Do this. So wood is not a great insulator. So this isn't going to be a particularly great room. Oh, we're out of wood. That's a mistake that I'm going to pay for. What we can do is, because that's going to run out, we're going to take that apart. And then we're going to make an electric stove. Because wood is going to be something that we can't afford. Oh, we got acidic smog. At least that's happening during the winter when I can't grow stuff anyways. I'm actually surprised these crops aren't dead, by the way. Breakup. Conrite and Darth Dragos have split up. Conrite, you're killing this colony. You were just rotating through everyone in the colony, just making everyone mad. I'm not going to tell you how to live your life. but I feel like you're not living your life properly. Polluted terrain. Okay, so you are under restriction now. Because that polluted terrain means his toxic buildup has gotten dangerously high. So I need to wait for that to drop off. How are people's moods doing with a lot of the stuff? Tattered apparel, that's no surprise. Ate without table, I blame you. Like, I blame the colonists for eating without table. The table is right there. I do think that is just a thing I need to do, is just put, like, a table in every other room. Just to try and get under control. Oh, for a moment I saw Conrad go and I saw the marriage. You're like, wait a second, did you just break up? What's this? Nah, it's a different marriage. Are the actual... So I can't draft them because I believe that'll cancel the wedding. But I would really, really like it if you'd actually get to your wedding. There we go. We're just... really, really, really late to the wedding, that's all. Look, it happens on the bride and the groom's time. It's their day. Alright, so we're gonna have to go here. We're gonna need to cut down more trees for more wood. Oh, I got scared when he ran down. I was like, no, don't cut down the Pollux trees. When those are gone, they're gone. Okay, expand that one tile. Because as I clean up the pollution, you get to the point where you can handle a little bit more with them than you expect. I got the one last bag there, so you can go ahead and put a bunch more down. So let's go ahead and choose to remove pollution. Let's fill in that spot. And the freezer is still going to have pollution in it for the moment, but we will get there. Basically, the first thing I want to do is try and enclose the entire area we've got there and get pollution handled. Alright, when does my grow season technically officially start again? Terrain. So it's 1st of April, May. So literally 2 more days. Oh, and because I forgot to queue it up. And who is... Oh, you can close that door. Letting all the air... You're letting all the heat out. Who is our constructor? As soon as you're done, build the stove. Alright, Night Dweller, you take it easy. Research known, tree sowing. I can work with that. That is definitely not the worst option. Alright, with that, Kalari can cook more meals and not have to worry about wood use. So... we are running out of space for a bunch of this stuff, which is a problem. But I could put some trees down here. And that'd certainly help. Polluted terrain on you. I know. I need you to not be in there. Part of the reason I'm letting it slide a little bit is because of the age. Most of the dangers are stuff that is already a danger for them, that it won't really particularly change one way or the other. The biomes, natural trees, I think are the issue. Yeah, so that's the thing, though. I can grow trees if we get rid of the pollution that are better. Like, if we actually look at our, if we actually go here. Oh, it won't let me select because it's all polluted. But we can actually tell it to grow different trees. Yeah, we can grab all of this. Yeah, so now you see I'll have the list of all the other trees. So you can go ahead and queue up that to be poplar. Replace the fibercorn. The issue is I don't have enough fibercorn. That'll be like 4 trees. So I actually want to just let that sit there and grow in the interim, because that grows a bit faster than the trees will. Ultimately, the fibercorn will go away, but I gotta kind of cover in the interim. That's actually one of the things, is I could potentially have them clean the pollution out of here and grow fibercorn in the kill box. Mostly because it grows really slowly. No, actually, probably not fibercorn, because it's also very laborious. Alright, so we're about to be through this season. It's good, because we're getting dangerously low on food. Everyone's trying to move that away. Oh, I cannot wait till we get some stone cutting, because we are dealing with problems here. Watts EMI field. Nope, I can't see what they are. They don't get to stay. Okay, hospitality allies. So I have still 2 days to accept it, but we're basically out of food entirely. So we're not going to accept it yet. I can restrict you more, but I really don't want to. Cool. And just keep letting them absorb the pollution. Every once in a while, we'll accidentally splash back into our area. That's fine. Wait, did I ever get the other ones? I did not. Cool. More steel and components. Spring has begun, which means we get to expand our grow area. And I guess harvest the ambrosia, because they're pretty much out of food entirely, which is not good. We will go ahead and also set our people to hunt. So as much as I'd like to take these people, I literally have 2 meals between all of my people. And I don't even know when... I mean, we got some stuff pretty close to growing. We might be able to take it. I'm really on the fence with that one. I mean, the harp would be really nice. The advanced components would be nice later in the run. The goodwill would be nice. I'd probably take the harp in the short term. because the harp would immediately give me a recreation benefit. Okay. Research known, we're not using a toxifier generator. In case you haven't looked around at our current situation, the last thing we need to do is contribute more pollution to the problem. Alright, so everyone's gonna have... Go forth and hunt. We have needs. As in, not starving to death. And the problem is all the animals that have built up pollution, they actually will not give me the full value. Like they'll potentially rot, so only some of them will I get food from. A lot of them will kill them and they'll instantly rot. Major break risk because you're depressive. Starvation is starting to set in. Alright, so anime is now under restricted areas. Soul Atom was the one who's growing stuff. Gloria Star also grows stuff, though. Yeah, they're gone. I'd love to take it, but literally we're trying to just not starve to death on our own right now. Which that'll improve. We're slowly giving ourselves more and more grow space and whatnot. We took a lot of pawns earlier that I probably shouldn't have. At least now it's about to grow. Okay, so we got a lot of stuff getting close. That's fine. We have a raid. They're going to take a little while to attack. I can live with that. A lot of times I have a couple of, meals in their inventory. So schedule. Everyone's restricted inside the area. Let's go zone. Alright, so sooner or later I have to connect that up so I don't have to run outside my secure area, which won't be too hard. We can just make a hallway. A little box room over here. Probably make it a storage room or something. Or that could even be where the hospital is, because that's not too far away from there. Yeah, that'd actually be probably a good idea. Make that the hospital. Okay, so everyone's hungry and angry. So that makes them more motivated to fight, right? They're gonna do well, okay? Just that whole not having eaten recently really drives you to fight well. So it's all melee. I say Conrad was not going to hold up very long. Please go down. Well, okay, I mean, I'm already down, game. There's one death. Can you rescue anyone? Oh, Tan, can we not go into stuff like kids soldiers and everything? Like, I'm not sure how many times I need to say this, like, in one stream. Very clearly I'm trying to avoid, like, edgy stuff. And just, like, keeps going, the rat's gonna finish the job. Because Soul Adam's on a break, so isn't gonna defend himself. Ah, good. That's how it should have gone. Okay, I mean, Soul Adams knocked it out, but Soul Adams is still actively bleeding to death. And is still broken, so will not attempt to help themselves. You are incapable of doctoring even if you do recover in time. So literally, you're just gonna bleed out. Ah, yes. Nah, and that was just, we had a break on Soul Adams, so we didn't have our second melee pawn available. And just with all the starvation and everything going on. Which that was the cold snap leading into the winter, wiped out a bunch of our crops, which wasn't that big a deal. We were coasting just the our side. I probably could have pulled these up a little early. But I was really just trying to ride out the last little bit to just carry over. in hindsight, I really should have just gone through, pulled up like a row of the potatoes. I would have gotten only partial, which would have made it more of an issue. Honestly, most of the runs we've done in this, it hasn't been just a straight-on siege that killed us like that, like a straight-on attack. Usually it's a compounding factor of a bunch of things, but that really kind of was, we had one person not in the fight, maybe not, they would have made the difference, and then just couldn't recover, like just too many people. Because we even had some fairly decent combat pawns. Our weapons were crap, but I mean, that's just normal. It's not like they rolled in with guns or anything. And honestly, we killed all but one of them. That was one of the things that was annoying me, is like, they had pretty much all of them knocked down and they still weren't doing it. And there goes the very last learning, the last one. They moved as fast. I didn't check. Were they on Go Juice? That might have been, well no, Neanderthals are slower than normal. They're slow runner. They must have been on Go Juice. That would explain why I was absolutely throttling them. Or, I was getting lots of hits in and they just weren't going down, as they were Neanderthals maybe on Go Juice. I don't know if they had Go Juice, but Neanderthals are slower, so the fact that they moved in on us so fast tells me something was up. But, yeah, Neanderthals are super durable. So, So we're about 45 minutes from the end of stream of when I normally wrap. That's not really enough to do anything in RimWorld. So what I think I'm going to end up doing is I think we're going to go ahead and set up to get a raid out. We're going to finish up a little early today. Because I'm in that weird spot where it's like, I could start something and we wouldn't get anywhere in it. Or not. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. But don't worry, I'm going to go find someone who we could definitely hang out with, who's got some solid content and all that. For those over on YouTube, I am going to go and end the stream over on YouTube, because there's no rating over there. So don't forget to like and subscribe. But for those over here on